And we're live.
Awesome. Ooh, I can hear things.
Should be good to go. Let's start exploring the main street.
Cool. So, hello everybody. We are live. We are the Dimensional Digital team, or at least part of it. I am the lead developer, Michael, and here streaming we have River and Bernard. So, yeah, welcome everybody. I hope you're all enjoying Season 2, and if you haven't played it yet, I hope you enjoy watching us play. Because really, this is the first time we've sat down and just played the final build of the game. Certainly the first time River's done it, so I mean, it's going to be interesting to watch. I don't know how good you're going to be, River.
I hope I don't immediately die, but we'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes.
Just focus on collecting those Emporium coins.
I mean, I'm already seeing some.
Are you playing this in 1080p or 4K?
I'm playing it in 4K.
Of course. Because you can do that.
Because I can.
Meanwhile, poor Bernard, his computer, I imagine, probably isn't even handling it normally.
You know, I was really happy with the optimization because it actually looked pretty good when I played. So
also, it wasn't stuttering as much as Season 1?
stuttering, but not as much as Season 1.
Good.
It's not as bad as Jurassic, that other game that came out.
Right.
Like
the old
I can
project,
barely play.
Jurassic World 3D project. I can't even play that anymore.
JWE game.
Yes. But yeah, River, River programmed. He's our programmer, and he programmed the kind of base of the arcade game that we've made.
Yeah.
And fun fact, that game kind of just got developed in the last 2 weeks, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
It didn't really exist before then. We always planned it since more or less halfway through development that we wanted an arcade game of some kind, but we couldn't really do much until close to the end. So I'm lucky that we had the help from River, and also my brother programmed a lot of the core mechanics as well. It came out so fun, and honestly, it's a really hard game. The person in the chat, the person in the chat, Mira, she just got done streaming Season 2. It was really fun. I was in the chat there, and yeah, she died quite a bit. But it's okay, I can say that she's my friend.
I haven't played the final version of the arcade yet. Since I'm standing in front of it, I think I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, go ahead. Good luck. The first level's easy, in my opinion. It's hard to judge because I've been playing it since development. I've gotten pretty good at fancy experience.
I like the monorail
because this was
in the background.
Yeah, this was the first time I ever did pixel art, like ever. I've never done pixel art for some reason. I don't really do 2D art often, but I usually do 3D stuff because I'm a 3D environment artist. But this was really fun to undertake.
The compies?
You got those little compies there. It's so funny because when they touch each other, their animation just looks like they're constantly kissing each other. I swear that I can't unsee it. You can't convince me it's anything else other than that. So yeah, right there you've got the Amber power-up, which gives Mr. DNA the famous Amber cane from the first movie, from John Hammond. And basically that just makes you invincible for 30 seconds and also turns all enemies into 5 pouch Emporium coins. So it's definitely good to get.
Oh. And I died.
Oh.
So is that my first Season 2 death in 10 minutes?
Death count 1.
And it's a 2.
Ooh. But yeah, Bernard, what was it like doing 8-bit music? Was this the first time you've ever done like retro music like that?
Interesting, because like I had worked on a site where I was collecting a lot of the original game music. To like look into it, it's fascinating because like pretty much there's a history of the people who do the sound effects do the music too.
Right.
Old video games, and this is the era I grew up in, you know, late 80s, early 90s. So I remember the sound of and the feel, I guess, but I'd never written anything like that ever. And so like when you guys talked about it, I was like, that sounds exciting.
Yeah. No, it's like that's my favorite thing about this project. We get to work on so many different like variety of things. Like I've never thought I'd be making an arcade game like in an 8-bit style at all. But here we are, and it's made and finished, and now people are playing it. So that's really fun. I even got to make some small tracks in the arcade and some small sound effects, which is really interesting because I've never done music before.
Yeah.
I've never composed anything, so I played keyboard for a while when I was a kid, but that's about it.
You made a melody for season 1.
That's true. I did make the Innovation Center melody, at least the first bit of it, and you kind of expanded it into this amazing theme, so that was fun.
I think you're supposed to avoid the copies.
Have you not watched The Lost World?
I haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, just details.
I love the bounce sound effect that you made. We just ended up using it for the bouncy arrow things. They're so fun. They're my favorite.
Go down, I'll have to see if I can hear it when it comes up again.
But yeah, I made the jump sound effect, the coin sound effect. I tried to base it off the one that you made for the normal Emporium coin sounds. And I did the ending screen music. Once you completely finish this, there's 3 levels. They're all kind of fun because the first one is based off Jurassic World. The second one is based off Fallen Kingdom. That was really fun to do because we really haven't done too many Fallen Kingdom things. And the third one is based off Jurassic Park, which is, I mean, who doesn't like Jurassic Park? So that was really interesting. But yeah, and then after that, you go to just like this little congratulations screen, and that's where one of my tunes is. So that's really fun.
I mean,
Game Boy.
I play the sound now, but I can't seem to get past the first level.
You can do this. You're better than this.
Oh.
But yeah, if you guys didn't know, this whole arcade game it's sort of randomly generated in a way. Basically, it makes like we design the chunks. There's a thing called chunks. It's like segments of a level, and then it spawns them in a random order, with some non-random elements to it. Like we don't get it to spawn twice, for example, so there's not so much repetition. But yeah, it should be fun to like kind of revisit it every now and then. You might see a different chunk that you've never played on, so we tried to make it as dynamic and as endless as we could try to do.
That's so cool.
And see, now we have the patching system, which we implemented literally the last minute, but I'm glad we did. Because now we can implement patches into Season 2, which means if we change something, if we like fix a bug or add some new content, you guys don't have to re-download the entire project. And more importantly, we don't have to upload the entire project again, because uploading this on my internet took 17 hours, and this was only like 2 gigabytes, so... Yeah, that will be much better. It means we can fix bugs quicker, we can add new content, which we've already got some ideas for, I'm going to discuss maybe later in this stream, but yeah, that's going to be really fun, and I hope you guys enjoy that. You did it!
Yeah, I just got to the 2nd level.
Yeah, good job. So this level's Fallen Kingdom, which is, I thought this was really fun to design the art for, because I've never done something kind of like a darker lava theme.
It looks really nice.
I love the music in here. How did you Yeah, like what was that like doing the music for this one? Because this was like it wasn't just 8-bit. There's like sort of elements in the background. I don't know what they are, but there's like these big thuds, like a boom. They
Well,
sound so cool.
There was that website that you helped me with.
Right.
That had, I think, 4 different channels to it, and one of the channels was like almost like a sound effect, and it was you could do different pitches. And that one, I was like, well, the thing I imagined in my head was the baryonic scene
Oh, right.
to that whole field sequence of them in the gyrosphere and everything. And so in my head, I'm just imagining the volcano just blowing and the pieces, chunks flying. And so, like, as I wrote it, that was kind of what I was tuned into.
Yeah.
The first thing,
absolutely.
No, the first thing I wrote was the intro music. 6 months
Yeah,
later.
yeah. You wrote that quite a while, quite a while ago.
Yeah. More recently, that's when I wrote, and so like that was the first actual level music I wrote.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard the Fallen Kingdom level music. I was blown away. Like, especially because how short the track is. I mean, these tracks are we made them like 50 or 60 seconds long at the most. We wanted to keep it short to kind of stay in line with that retro, because they did have a lot of musical limitations back then. But it doesn't sound repetitive to me at all. Like, it just loops so well, and it's exactly what you said. When I listened to it the first time, I just pictured all those thuds would be like volcano chunks just crashing into the ground and like all this stuff. It's fantastic.
So, Michael, how am I?
How do you get out of
you're stuck. So what happened with that is we can update it. Basically, I designed that first, which was a bit silly of me. I forget to add a way for the player to either escape or die. So right now you just have to exit it. We did update it, but apparently we didn't update it for the first 2 levels. It's only in the 3rd one, so you're just gonna have to press S to escape.
Yeah, I'm going back to Main Street.
But yeah, just little things like that we might have missed, we will definitely update.
I love the little comments here. These are the Game Boy experience. Totally agree. Like when I was writing the music, that's kind of what I tried to remember was SNES or Game Boy, like all that stuff. Pokemon, even like all that music then.
Yeah, I
saw the game.
I grew up with Mario games, so I had a SNES early on. Even though I'm not that old, but we did have an SNES, and it was very fun. And I played like Mario World, and so it was really cool to develop like a retro 8-bit 2D side-scroller game like that again. Because I mean, those were the games of our childhood, and now here we are making them. It's kind of wild.
And it almost, I mean, like, I don't say it's part of Jurassic Park, but like, I grew up with that as being part of my Jurassic Park memory. Was playing Jurassic Park on SNES and everything. Like, and so like actually being able to revisit it and have it as like almost like an Easter egg in it is kind of fun too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So River, you're currently exploring Main Street.
Yes, I think I'm going in the right direction for the petting zoo.
It's hard to tell. Yeah, the petting zoo is like, if you go to the center of Main Street,
right
it's just to the right.
Yeah.
The Game Boy I used to play is the Jurassic Park Rampage edition, and I always lost at the first level. So, yeah, that happened a lot. I remember that game. That looked really fun. You could ride a baby not a baby, just a Gallimimus as like Dr. Grant, which was really
I love
strange.
how dense you made the trees here, by the way.
Yeah, the trees are really great.
That's all thanks to Speed Tree. It's a good Speed Tree.
I'm
glad I invested in that.
Yeah, it's really a great tool.
I agree. that the same way he just did, like looking for new trophies. And I was like, wow, the trees are like really dense. Like it actually, that worked really well.
Yeah, because that was the hardest thing about Season 1's trees. Like, I mean, I made them in 3ds Max, and it's just a really difficult program to model trees in. It's not really how trees are made these days. So getting them dense and also keeping them like really, you know, not high poly and performance heavy was really difficult. So Speed Tree definitely helped with that. There's all the babies.
Seeing all of the dinos run around.
Yeah, I love the way that their AI works. It's just so good. Like it really just brings Main Street to life now. Because I remember for so long, so many people were like, "Why aren't there dinosaurs in the petting zoo? What is this?" There was someone on our YouTube comments in Season 1. They're like, "You do plan to have dinosaurs on your tour, don't you?"
I'm just kidding.
They're adorable.
It's really cool how close you can get.
Yeah, Andreas is our lead dinosaur modeler. He does all the organic ZBrush stuff that I can't do, basically. And he does an incredible job with these dinosaurs. Like they look straight out of the movie. The detail on them is so fine. It's incredible.
So quick too.
Yeah, I know. Like he's like, he'll just post something and it's like, "Oh, I've only been working for a few hours," and it's like basically complete. I'm just like, how do you do that?
Like, did you not? I was gonna say, did you steal it? But it was like, how did you? Like, I can't even like.
Yeah.
Just that.
What programs do you use now for modeling? I'm the environment artist, so basically I do all like the buildings, the props, all the main environment stuff that you see there, and I use 3ds Max. The dinosaurs are done in the sculpting program ZBrush. That's by our dinosaur modeler Andreas, and you know that stuff is incredible. You can really get into fine detail. But I use 3ds Max as my core modeling program. And then afterwards, I do like texturing in Substance Painter, which is a really good program. Definitely recommend that. And then it's all compiled and put together into a scene in Unity, which is what you play in, which is the engine. So yeah. What do you use for the music, Bernard?
The main program I use is on my Mac. It's called Logic. And there's something called like sample libraries that you utilize.
Right.
For sample libraries, I have quite a few, but it's mostly Complete, Contact Complete, and then that's one of the glitches, by the way.
Yeah, there's a collider, but it doesn't switch over.
There is. Yeah.
I know how to fix that. But it's okay, you can still get those coins with the drone.
Exactly.
True.
Can I buy the drone already? Let's see.
If you have 80 coins, you should be able to buy the standard drone, yes.
I have about 150. So let's buy
then
the
you
stuff.
get. Add it to the list. Yeah. So that's King Big Alex. That's my brother in the chat right now. He was very, very, very helpful this week. This was the last week of development, and like, I'm sure you guys know, it got delayed a few days. It was about half a week that we had to delay it because there were just so many bugs and problems that we just came up at the last minute as we... I'm serious, but I've got a list, don't worry. I've got a big list.
I was gonna say, well, he's got the Emporium open. Do you want to talk a bit about buying, equipping, and all that different stuff?
Oh yeah, so the Emporium, River, you worked on the Emporium.
Yeah,
like, that was the most complex.
It's one of the biggest things in Season 2 in terms of just how much code there is to it.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah,
and we just kept adding to it too.
we started with this as one of the first features, but we then just kept adding new features to it and adding more and more and more. At first we only had like some add-ons, some themes, some items, and we added unlocks, we added all sorts of stuff, buy, equip.
Yeah, so you can get, someone said you can get a baby Triceratops saddle? Absolutely, you can. It's one of the items you can get, and basically, yeah, when you have it equipped, a baby Triceratops with a saddle on its back will appear in Main Street, and you can walk up to it and click on it and ride it. It's really fun. We wouldn't have baby Triceratops without a little feature to ride it, so we had to make it possible.
So I've noticed something, and I'm not sure if it's a bug or if you change something between Season 1 and 2. But I did have 40 trophies in Season 1 and now only 39 in Season 2.
Yeah, I believe what's happening there is, for some reason, something in Main Street's gone wrong.
One of
where
them
it doesn't
have a different ID now or something.
No, it's not an ID problem. It's actually I think either the save converter didn't work correctly, or there's something in Main Street going wrong, because when Mira was streaming before, she collected trophies in Main Street, and then when she re-entered Main Street, those didn't, like, they just reappeared. So, yeah. But I'm pretty sure I know what the issue is. I think we can fix it. So, yeah, don't worry.
I have just built the drone and the binoculars.
Yeah, nice. I love the binoculars.
I want to go to Main Street.
Yeah, so with the binoculars, you quickly did the code for the binoculars, but we actually, because we had to do a few adjustments to it, and we made it so it smoothly zooms in now, because before it just kind of...
That's very nice.
Yeah, it was really kind of tricky to get working correctly, but we finally got it working, and it looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, also for everybody watching, so we say the code for this is done really quickly. That's pretty much everything we coded. It's just really quickly, and then a whole load of bug fixing.
So right now you guys are kind of our testers in a way, because I'm sure there are bugs, but we will fix them.
Plenty of bugs.
There's always bugs. Even Jurassic World Evolution had a lot of bugs. I remember, Bernard, you found a bug in Evolution where, like, the was it the Triceratops? Yeah, it was like wobbling around.
He died, and he just kept like rolling and rolling and rolling, and it was like one leg would flip and then the next leg would flip, and it was the funniest thing to watch. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, bugs can be pretty entertaining. So yeah, your My Items list will basically display the controls of each item you have equipped, so it can be really handy.
Maybe dino pets in the car.
Yeah, so that's I guess we can discuss this a bit now. Basically with the patcher, what we want to do is continue to add little updates every now and then with some small additions of content. And one of the things that one of our developers in the chat right now, what he wants to do is add a baby dinosaur pet that follows you around in Gacha. So that's something that we're just, it's an idea right now, but really if we can pull that off, I think that would be really fun. Yes, you got the zone.
I mean, my frames are dropping a little bit now, because I'm flying above Main Street and loading everything in.
Yeah, you are looking at the entire Main Street while running in 4K, so.
And HDR.
And HDR.
And I think I'm maybe on ultra
and streaming.
settings. And streaming. So Michael, I think we need to optimize it more so that I can actually play in 4K on ultra settings while streaming without frame drops.
We will continue to optimize, don't worry. You can fly over the T-Rex Kingdom, but basically, just like you did misspell Rexy, but...
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so just like the CGI in the movie, if you've ever noticed, you actually don't see the log from like the top-down view of the T-Rex Kingdom. All you kind of see is like a bunch of bushes and the trees coming out. I want to see sexy and stuff.
See Rexy. You need to see sexy Rexy.
Sexy Rexy. But yeah, if you actually fly your drone into it, it will just transport you into the T-Rex Kingdom scene. So. But if you are in the T-Rex Kingdom scene, you can fly your drone around the area and just kind of fly up to the log and fly up to Rexy. So it's very fun to explore.
Fly the drone out and like be by the shark.
That's what I wanted to do, but there's an invisible wall here.
No, it's not invisible. You're actually just flying into your player controller. That's why.
But my player was at the back and isn't this tall, I think.
Oh, I see now. It's just because I had a delay. But yeah, there is a wall there, but you can fly. If you fly to like the other segments of the arena, you can kind of fly there. Yeah.
Is that a bug or a feature?
It's a feature. You can fly to the last seat once you got the last drone with the highest range.
My range isn't large enough. Oh well. I'm gonna go to a new area, which is right over here, I think.
Hold on tight.
Underwater.
Do you want to talk about what's going on right now, Michael?
The static? So basically with the static, each drone has a specific range, and you can see it when you buy it in the shop. It'll be in the description. It'll say like low, medium, or whatever. It's also in your items list, and it's just like a real drone. Drones have limited range, and if you fly too far away from the player, they will start to, go all staticky and lose connection. So you definitely want to keep within that range. You can unlock better drones later on, which is actually not too hard to do, and they have higher ranges and different designs. And one of my personal favorites is actually the second drone you unlock, which is the Pteranodon toy drone, which is like a wooden Pteranodon toy. And the best feature is I animated it so it flaps its wings as you fly the drone around, which is really fun. But yeah, we're in the underwater observatory right now, which has like some of the most relaxing music I've ever heard in my life.
I mean,
I love it.
I can't tell you.
Like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I just sit there just watching it in the dyno viewer, listening to the music and the bubbles and the underwater sounds. So good. Like a river here collecting all these coins. They get all those coins, all those 10 pouches.
Once you collect those coins, do they repopulate, or is that the only time you can collect them from those spots?
So in like areas like Main Street and stuff like that, like actual playable ones, those, once you've collected them, just like trophies, they're gone forever. But coins you get in there's some exceptions. Like coins you get in the arcade always respawn, obviously, because it's just generated every time. So that's a really good way to kind of rack up coins. And there are some unlockables in the gacha system, which I'll briefly talk about soon. They will give you special coins which respawn every time you use that special rare add-on. So it's definitely worth trying a few gachas and seeing if you can win something. So River, go to the dyno viewer. Right, do you have enough coins for the gacha?
I'm not sure.
Because it's
How
quite
expensive is it?
So a normal roll is 200 coins, which has just like normal
coins.
A normal roll has just kind of normal odds, and then you can spend 500 coins on a roll, and that has like much higher chances of winning a trophy or a rare, or if you're good enough, maybe even 1,000 coin pouch. So it's a good way to actually, if you have enough coins and if you want to kind of risk it, you can basically win coins back and kind of get, benefits like that. So it's a risk reward system, but you can end up getting more coins back than you put in. So it's definitely worth a try. How do you get to go to Jurassic Park? So I won't talk about it too much, but if you guys watched the latest trailer, at the very end there was a little glimpse at a certain famous Jurassic Park gate. So all I can say is there's lots of unlockables, and basically just keep going and you will eventually get to that special location. So It's one thing we've definitely wanted to keep a secret. All these unlocks, because I think, especially with Fallen Kingdom, there was a lot of things spoiled too quickly in the trailers and stuff like that. So we want to keep it. Kind of wrapped up for a little bit longer until people have had the chance to explore it themselves, and then we'll talk about it a bit more. But yes, you can go to the Jurassic Park ruins, which is unlocked automatically from the get-go, and that's really fun.
Now, I haven't seen this yet in game. I'm currently loading it.
Good luck.
I know I have to be careful.
Yes, Zul, we can actually update the animations later on. So Zul's our lead animator right now. He's done all the animations for like our T-Rex and a few of our other special dinosaurs. So
That tree looks
definitely
so good.
Thank you.
It's really cool.
It's a restricted area.
Yeah, I love the grass in
What
this
does that
area.
mean?
This is the location where Zack and Gray find the visitor center ruins. So it's in the restricted area behind the gyrosphere gates.
Something able to find you while you're here?
Hmm. Who knows?
Whereabouts is the visitor center?
If you keep walking forward, you'll eventually stumble across it. This place is great because one thing I just discovered almost by accident while developing this area and kind of laying it out is you do get lost. Like, it does feel like a dense jungle that's just like kind of overgrown, abandoned, and you're not really sure what direction you're going. You're not really sure, did I pass this tree? Because they all kind of look the same. And I think that's a really cool part of it, actually. Again, it was kind of discovered by accident, but I kind of chose to build it off that and go from there because I did want it to feel like this creepy place that was like, the history is still there, but it's just overtaken by nature, and you really don't know where you are or where you're going. So I thought that was fun. And something I've definitely heard a lot from my family and friends who have played some early test builds, Bernard, is that they love the music in this area. So what was it like developing that?
Interesting one. And I think anyone with a keen ear would kind of start to notice it. But if there was any to emulate for this area, it was Remembering Petticoat Lane.
Yes. Oh god, I love that track.
Exactly. So if you remember, I did a bunch of demos of like trying to get the same sound.
Yeah, we
of the
actually
chimes.
recreated it.
So there we go. Played with the same sort of melodic shape. Remembering Petticoat Lane, but the notes are all wrong.
Oh, that's so interesting.
The timing is off, and that was the point, was to be like, it's as if it were that music box broken.
Yeah, that's such a cool concept. I love that.
Like, that's why, like, I didn't initially want to go that direction, but I was like, it's too perfect. Like, it just fits the idea of like that broken, that lost, that what's left. So that's why I went with that.
Yeah, and I love it because it kind of strikes that balance between, like, it is eerie, but it's not actually like, it's not the track that we had in season 1 with the Indominus Rex. That's just like straight up horror and terrifying, which might have.
But in that one, you have Mr. DNA standing in the corner, so that is kind of like a horror scene. When you turn around, if you're standing inside.
And honestly, watching people play that level made me so happy because, like, before we knew whether or not we were going to have the Indominus Rex, and so I wrote it with the intention of it was going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Time, just happened, and we weren't able to get it into the game. and the music was left, and so the original release had that, and all these people are playing it, and they're freaking out, thinking something's gonna break
Where is
out or
it?
attack them. And they turn around, there's Mr. DNA, and they're all like, "Ah."
Oh, it's great. And it just happened to so many people. It wasn't just like one person.
It did. It was perfect. It made me so happy. And
It's
then for
great.
the patch, the when we did put out the
Yeah,
Okay.
version 1.1, we just
Yeah.
kind of had to switch it up a bit and
I
make
did.
it a little bit less intense.
yes, so I did go back and write new music for that, so it wasn't. But I enjoyed that so much.
But yeah, that was the thing. Back in season 1, just towards the end, we did originally plan to have the Indominus Rex. That's why we had the paddock. We started it because we were building the model for the Indominus Rex. But you know, we all have lives and we all had our own things to do. So it just one way or another didn't end up making it in. But luckily, we got it back for season 2. Thank you, The Final Space Frontier, for joining the stream. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks for joining. Yeah, this is the Raptor Paddock.
Yeah.
This was fun to do. I loved modeling this.
Trees
because,
are
like, that's-
really dense.
Definitely. That was one thing in Jurassic World that was, I would say, one of my biggest disappointments across the first one and the second one, is that we never really got to see too much of the original park ruins. Like, we only saw the visitor center, and it was only the doors on the inside. We did luckily get to see the kind of what was it, where they stored the vehicles, the garage area. But apart from the apart from the inconsistencies with all that stuff, we still didn't get to see the Raptor Paddock. We didn't get to see the T-Rex Paddock. There were so many areas that were iconic in the first movie that we never got to see in ruins. I
You didn't
kind
get
of
to see
wanted
the
to do
T-Rex
that.
paddock because it moved. Didn't you see where the car was in the second one? Sorry, I didn't do that. I didn't say that.
We saw the T-Rex Paddock. It's in Fallen Kingdom, right? No.
Oh, okay, right.
But yeah,
So,
it was
Michael,
really interesting.
Do you
What's
have
up?
any tips to see the guest that is walking around here?
Yes, the special
The
dinosaurs
special
around
guest,
this
the VIP
area.
guest.
The VIP. So you're at the Raptor Paddock right now. Basically, you
Yeah.
just want to go left of it. Like, just keep walking.
Like,
So like if you look at the Raptor Paddock from the perspective we see it in the first movie, it's to the left. Yeah, just
alright,
keep going.
This way.
You'll eventually go and see a fence in ruins, and they're in that area guarding a trophy.
Ooh.
But yeah, this area was so fun to do. It's just really interesting because I'm not really used to doing darker themed areas. My style is more like, you know, happy, colorful stuff like the Emporium and Main Street. But it was really fun to kind of explore that and no pun intended, and try to do something that was kind of almost emulating type of stuff that a lot of people in the community want to see, is like, you know, a survival horror game in the Jurassic franchise. We kind of got that darker feel without going completely survival horror.
Now, I don't know if this is where you want to talk about this, Michael, but there were some darker things you wanted to do in the original pitch for season 2.
Yeah, oh yeah. There were a lot of things. So when we started season 2, like kind of planning it, I think this was either like at the very end of December or at the start of January, around that time. We literally wrote down a list. Kind of what we did, how we approached things is we had that poll that was public after season 1. We basically asked everybody, you know, if we continue this and do an update later on, where do you want to see it go? What areas do you want to put in, and what areas do you want to see if you could? And then, you know, we saw what won, what was the most popular, and a lot of them was like the ruins of Jurassic Park, there was the gyrosphere, the monorail, stuff like that. So we had definitely made that our top priority. But we had a lot of our own unique ideas, of course. And one of them, for example, that never made it in, but I mean, who knows in the future what's going to happen. We originally wanted to recreate a sort of sadder scene for the Apatosaurus dying in the Gyrosphere Valley. That would have been a very challenging scene, especially for animation and sound, but it's something that we could explore in the future. But yeah, I think it was funny because you, Bernard, had a lot of ideas in the music that ended up kind of influencing what locations we ended up doing. Because originally we weren't going to have them in season 2. We didn't really plan it, but you had it written down on the list that there was this like journey track to the park gates, and we eventually incorporated it, and it came out amazing. The montage track is one of my favorites.
That was one of those examples where I was trying to imagine like what more we could do to really make it feel immersive, and so ended up doing. I ended up writing Monorail, and I don't think I've talked about this yet. Actually, what the Monorail is based on, the music.
Yeah, no, that's true. Go ahead.
Remember? So when it came time to write that, another friend of mine, Scalinger or Derek, who's known for the Jurassic Time series, which is the Trespasser, where he takes the audio and the stories and the music and edits them together into a storyline. He was able to. He wanted me to work on a project, and the project was to take unfilmed scenes from Jurassic Park based on storyboards and scripts and write music to it and in essence tell that story.
Right.
Well, what's a good way to do that? And because I was already doing JE season 2 and we have these storyboards for the unused montage for the opening of Jurassic World and put them together into a track, and was like, okay, I'm gonna write the intro part where you're sitting in the station, the monorail starts going, you see the gates, the main theme plays. After that, there's just kind of this twinkling music as you're going over the lake, and then the camera would pull away and you start the the montage sequence, and you would see, I forget what order it goes in.
I feel like I've got this memorized.
Yeah, I feel like I should. Like, there's the Gallimimus Valley.
Yeah, that comes in later in the track. Yeah, because it goes like the middle segment's like the piano bit, and then it goes to the Gallimimus Valley, then the aviary, and then after that there's like the T-Rex Kingdom and all that stuff.
What was it? The piano bit, if I'm not mistaken, was the Jungle River Cruise.
Right.
The Apatosaurs, and then there was the Gallimimus, I think. And then
it transitions to the aviary, yeah.
With the ending with the Pachycephalosaur, boom, and then transition to the T-Rex.
Right.
And then after the T-Rex, it would come back to the petting zoo. I'm gonna totally get roasted for this. It's not the Protoceratops. They changed its name.
The one in Fallen Kingdom?
The little Triceratops, but they're not Triceratops. Little
right.
frilled ones.
Yeah, I can't remember. The micro something.
Snow. Is that it? Or is that the carnivore? I get them mixed up. But there's
the
a part where
the
tricycloplods. The guy is there with his kids, Microceratus.
Microceratus, yes, thank you, Zul.
One of the dads with his kids in the concept art, he goes up to the glass and the Microceratus jumps at him, and it's like boom, and that's why it ends that way. And so I
didn't even know that.
So I did that.
That is awesome.
So I wrote the piece, but the funny thing about it, none of this stuff was planned. None of this stuff was done. And so that one piece has literally been broken up into the intro video you just saw, the part that's playing right now. The Gallimimus Valley is now its own separate track.
Right.
And then there's even a Main Street part that I pulled from it too. So that one track I wrote has been split into 4. Which in a way it always was, but it was never it was written to be in 4.
Yeah, it was so interesting how it just kind of evolved, because I mean, we had the whole monorail track done as monotage, and we're just like, how do we use this? I mean, I originally wanted to do like a montage of like, you know, I wanted to make that a real thing, but obviously we didn't have all the dinosaurs from the storyboard, and the biggest thing was, how do you do like a scene like that in Main Street when it's just such a complex scene as it is? It takes, you know, obviously forever to load, as you can see. From a technical standpoint, it was a very challenging thing to do. So we had to be very creative in the way we split up the monorail scene with like a cut scene and stuff like that. And then I kind of had ideas how to use the rest of the track in different areas. Like we split it up into Main Street. We eventually had the Gallimimus Valley, and we used that as its own track. And then it just kind of continued to evolve from there. But that's kind of how a lot of our things go. We end up creating something, and if we don't quite initially find a way to use it, we will always find a way to use it. This is what I found, which is really good, because it kind of forces us to be creative and see, you know, how does this fit into the puzzle, and where can we place this? So it was really fun, and it's one of my personal favorite tracks, because I think the first thing, just the way it starts, it sounds so much like As the Jurassic World Turns. Like that's what it instantly reminds me of, that first intro segment. And that's one of my favorite tracks from Jurassic World ever. So
I would agree. That's one of mine. And that I remember, if he's still in this, a friend of mine, Sam, I remember talking to him about this, how when I first got the soundtrack to Jurassic World, I remember listening to it, and I literally was like, I can tell you at this time code, this is going on. At this time code, this is going on. And then none of that happened. And I was like, where's the montage?
I know.
Yeah.
And it was so funny, because like when they eventually, you know, a few months after the movie came out, they said, oh, it was going to have a montage, and it got cut. I was like, oh, well, that, yeah, it fits in the piece. It makes so much sense now. It was because it was also split up weirdly, kind of how we did it in Jurassic Explorer in a similar way. Because because the full track is just one whole thing, and it is kind of like a montage. And then in the movie, it's split up, you know, from when you go to Main Street, and then it's also split up to when there's the helicopter scene, and then it's kind of like in some other parts later in the movie, and it's even in the deleted scene. And it's kind of interesting how it unintentionally mirrored that for our project as well. So
that's interesting. T-Rex Kingdom.
Yes. Rexy. Actually, something which is really fun. Yes, it is out, the Random Gamer. I don't know if it's in the description. It might not be. I'll post a link in a second. But yes, you can download Season 2 right now for Windows. So and it will be out for Mac later this week. So stay tuned. But what I was going to say is something interesting about the T-Rex Kingdom. If you go into the Dino Viewer, it actually has for the description it says Rexy/Roberta. because I know.
Does it really?
Yes, it does. Because something a lot of people complained in the first season was, oh, why do you choose to say Rexy? Because it's kind of the split in the fan base, right? So I decided to put both. Kind of acknowledge everybody.
The trees in this, like how different this area looks.
Oh yeah, it's insane. It was funny because that grass at the last minute was like kind of an inclusion that I added. Because in the movie, you don't really, like on that set, which is very weird by the way, that whole area, you don't really see grass. It's kind of almost like a wood chip forest with lots of dirt. So I took a creative decision, and I think it was a good one. It looks very good. Okay, I'm just getting the link. Can I Very sad.
I mean, also in the movie, the T-Rex Kingdom seems really small from the outside, but then
Yep.
on the shot inside, it's just massive, which is really weird.
Oh, thank you, Azaz.
Yeah,
I'm very excited to see your Let's Play, Azeth, if I'm saying that right. Oh man, Rexy looks so cool. I love her roars. But yeah, do you have the drone, River?
I do.
Yes, you can fly the drone in here if you wish.
I literally just started flying it when you said that, by the way. And now there's a little bit of a delay on the stream,
Yeah.
so... Ooh. I really need
The
to
short
get
distance.
the upgraded drone though, because the range
Yeah.
on this first one...
Gotta get that
Yeah.
Tyrannodrone.
Yeah.
That's
But as
you
you were saying, as you were saying before, River, how the T-Rex game is really small.
Yeah.
That just reminds me, because a lot of people in season 1, they would message me and be like, "Oh, why is this way? That seems inaccurate." But the thing
But the
is,
whole
they were
movie
talking.
is also
Yeah,
a
they
little
were
bit
talking
inaccurate.
about. They were talking about the things that were inaccurate in Jurassic World, not that it's inaccurate in Jurassic Explorer.
really.
So they would say "Oh, why isn't there a staircase to the second level of the innovation center on the other side? Why is there only one staircase? Because there isn't in the movie." And I guess that's kind of a testament to how accurate we got their inaccuracies. But yeah, I tried to kind of be creative with some of those inaccuracies, and in this season we had a bit more freedom, I feel like. And yes, Rever, I see that glitch. I'm gonna have to fix that.
Ooh, and I'm stuck.
Yeah, because there's a collider, I believe. I feel like you're inside the mesh right now, which is
right.
all.
Yeah, so the inside doesn't have a hole there, and the outside does.
Yeah. But yeah, since we're in the T-Rex Kingdom, those doors that you see on either end of the log, they obviously weren't in the movie. We didn't see any of it, and the set doesn't really exist. I mean, it would just be the viewing bit of the set. So I had to kind of be creative. There has to be some sort of door there. And how would a door look on the T-Rex Kingdom given its other designs? There was a lot of areas with steel and bolts, so I did that around the rim of the doorway, and I made them circular to fit the log design. So I feel like without me saying that, a lot of people might just think, "Oh, they must have been in the movie," and hopefully that comes across well, because if they think that, then it means that I've done a good job matching the design with Main Street and T-Rex Kingdom's designs.
It would make sense
When
for
will
it to
she
be
run?
a door. It would make sense for it to be a door.
She
too.
will run much later, in a different scene that you will see. Don't worry. Many surprises.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
for
you're
season
saying
2,
that it makes-
it's really amazing how in leading up to the release we've already just shown off so many things about the game, yet there is still so much more that hasn't been announced or shown or
Yeah.
whatever. That's really cool.
Gustavo wants to see the Gallimimus Valley. You've got to unlock that river.
Ooh. Well, I mean, I've got all day for this stream, so who knows?
True. It's actually one of the first locations you unlock in the first set.
I saw
so
that currently the 2 unlocks for locations I can do are the Emporium and the Hatchlings, I think.
yes, and
Yeah,
you need those
those
two
first.
to unlock the
Yeah,
first
and then
set.
those will unlock more and more and more. So
Yeah.
let's see how many. Oh, I have enough for the first location. So
There you go.
let's unlock the Emporium. I think is 150.
And I mean, I don't know how good you are at the arcade game, but that's probably one of the quickest ways to get coins.
I think we've already found out
May I
I'm
be
not
of help?
very good at that.
The Jurassic Park level is the hardest because not only does it generate 35 chunks, which is the
35.
longest level. Yeah, it's
Wow.
quite a bit.
That's a really long level. Yeah.
But we also include a special AI, which is the Velociraptors, which just kind of jump crazily. Like they go everywhere. They attack you. I think they specifically aim for you. I can't quite remember, but they're really frantic, just like raptors would be. And it's kind of funny because even if you get that invincibility power up, which turns the enemies into coins, the enemies are still coin bags. So the Velociraptors will jump out and like, you know, jump away from you, so you can't even get the coins. It's really fun.
Jump
So
away.
did you just buy? Did you just buy the Emporium
I
ticket?
just bought the Emporium location.
Awesome. So now you can
So
go to the
let's
title
see.
screen and get it.
Let's see.
Let's explore the Emporium.
Ooh.
And actually, River and Bernard, I can show you an Easter egg you guys don't even know about in the Emporium Explore.
Is it the cat? Because I know about that one.
Oh, everybody knows about my cat.
Yeah.
My cute cat Ducky. So if you guys didn't know, there's a picture of my cat in the Emporium pinned up on his pinboard. His
I'm
name is
looking at it
Ducky
right
and he's
now, so it
adorable.
should be up in the stream in a moment.
Yeah, you're walking up to it now. He's so cute. He's adorable. He sits on my lap like 90% of the time when developing, and he watches all of the dinosaurs. Okay, so River, if you go to the desk and there should be a little piece of paper hidden under the desk.
There
And
is.
just read that out loud.
Don't trust
It's in
Mr.
there.
DNA. Very nice. Also, I gotta say, these coins are giant.
I know, right? I feel like they're bigger in this scene. I have to double
They
check
are
that.
a lot bigger, I think. Although in the other scenes they also were like really large, the coins.
Yeah.
But,
Unless maybe you're just smaller in this scene.
Maybe Mr. DNA shrunk you.
Also, I've noticed that in this scene, I'm not sure if it's because of this scene or some other bug, but my mouse is still visible.
Oh, I can fix that really easily. Yeah, I just didn't add a script. Yeah, this Emporium was probably one of the funnest things I personally designed because it's very colorful. It's very fun, and it was interesting to use Mr. DNA's design kind of on everything. You know, you've got the four main colors: the white, blue,
Yeah.
pink, and yellow.
The whole thing has just those colors from Mr. DNA.
Yeah.
Really nice.
And then you got like the DNA helix strand in the center and the plush toys
Oh.
everywhere. And I just thought, like, if Mr. DNA had a shop, what would it look like and how would he advertise it? It was really fun to be creative like that.
Also, really like how you can really the plush toys really look like plush toys.
Yeah, that was challenging to do, but I ended up getting it pretty good. They've all got tags on them.
Yeah.
Like barcodes, and those barcodes have a few of them have special numbers that are a few references to some pop culture stuff. I don't know if you guys have ever watched the TV series Lost, but there's numbers in that show, and it pops
Yeah.
up in this quite a bit.
So these barcodes, are they like the QR codes on the X in season 1, where if I scan one of them, I find a special page, or?
They're just generic barcodes, blank. I made sure they're blank, that you can't scan them. But with the QR code, I did recently update the website, so it should be good to go with something new and a little bit special. So yeah.
Well, now I kind of have to try that.
Bingo! Huge savings in sales. By the way, our voice actors throughout all Jurassic Explorer just did an incredible job. especially for the cutscenes. But Mr. DNA is voiced by Michael Coy. Not me, I'm Michael Pierce. It's a different person. He did a great job at bringing Mr. DNA to life, and I will never unhear him as Mr. DNA now. Like that is solidified in my ears as Mr. DNA's voice. So
Good job, though. Like, I really his voice. He did a really good job for that.
yeah.
Had not been so lucky, it would have been me. So
You did a pretty good job. I enjoyed it. But yeah, it was fun like listening to all the submissions because we hosted like, oh, do you want to voice Mr. DNA? And we got like, I think we got like 43 submissions, which is insane. Like, you guys are so talented. And there were a lot of good entries, but Michael Coy just did it. Like, as soon as we heard it, I posted it, and I'm like, guys, this has to be our Mr. DNA. I think you guys heard the sample clip too, and you're like, yep, that's him.
yeah.
It was so good. Just the way he said dinosaur is like, dinosaur. Yeah, you're just looking at our trophies. I actually added something new. If you press
some new ones.
If you press C, you can go into a rotating view. It's a new feature.
That's very nice. So
Yeah.
I think this one is new.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them, and
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously there's 40 new ones,
Seen
but there's
some
also
that, yeah, I've seen some because currently I'm still at 17, so I'm going through the season 1 ones, and I'm seeing
Yeah.
some new stuff in there.
yeah, I've added and replaced some that were a bit out of date with some newer ones. So like one you can collect in the Irex paddock is one of my favorite ones, which Zul actually posed, is the T-Rex and the Indominus Rex fighting each other.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. It's like one of my favorite trophies ever. So
I also really like how like these buildings, and in this case the stadium, it just looks like these miniatures, which is really funny.
yeah,
Really
Yeah.
looks
Well,
just like something I could have like on my desk or something.
yeah, you got to 3D print these.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
Do it. Oh my god. I remember at one point, Ripper, we wanted to do 3D print the gyrosphere model and
Yeah.
make it a real thing, because you can do robotics, can't you?
Yeah. We could still
That's
try
insane.
that.
That would be so fun, because I know that there's the one that got released by Mattel,
Yeah.
and it's pretty good. Like, for its price especially.
Yeah. For its price, it's
It's
cool.
not very accurate though.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we now have a really highly detailed model made by you of the gyrosphere.
Yeah. Oh god, that
Really
one
good
took
photo.
3 weeks to finish.
Yeah. It was one of
And
the
that was
first
your
models
first
you
vehicle?
did for season 2.
That was my first
right?
vehicle.
Yeah.
First vehicle ever, and first model for season 2 ever, which was crazy. Like that, we just started, and that was funny because Bernard, you started with the gyrosphere have no sphere track,
Oh,
which was
that's
like
the
one of the
first one.
strongest startings to like anything we've ever done.
Oh, the Indom.
Yeah, that's the Indominus. Oh, that looks so cool. Zul, you did such a great job at posing that. You really captured like the movement of it. Yeah, I just love how we can all like collaborate in different ways. You know, like you got Andreas's incredibly detailed models, and then you have Zul's posing, and then our programming. It all just kind of comes together to this amazing thing. So cool. I love the Indominus's hands. But yeah, that was the like best way we could have ever started season 2. Is just like, you know, have the gyrosphere done, and then get the gyrosphere track done. It just
Also,
came out so well.
I also find it really amazing how the gyrosphere was one of the first models for season 2, and it took a couple of weeks to make. But then in the last few weeks, you just had like multiple models a day ready.
Yeah,
You did like whole areas in a day, and that was really crazy.
Yeah, I remember the ruin scene. That whole scene didn't get like really properly started until like the start of this, like the start of last month, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were lots of scenes that we really just had to like get out quickly. It's been a stressful week. but it's been fun too, because I have learned a lot. And yeah, I'm still just constantly amazed at how much we got done and how we actually did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got some. I didn't know really what to do with these, so I put some of the arcade art in there, just standalone. Obviously, with Unity, so there's some
yeah, Unity
issues.
can do some funny things.
Yeah, there's a simulation machine I love. So I kind of want to discuss a bit about the simulation machine, that whole thing, because like obviously that's something that we created ourselves, a little story that we created ourselves, and not only designing that whole simulation machine and that, you know, the visuals of it was really fun and unique to do, but the kind of story behind it, for me, it might sound weird, but like Mr. DNA is basically a representation of us as developers, because he created he created Jurassic Explorer, he created the simulation machine, and that's exactly what we did too. And fun fact that when he in the intro he says day 632 or 642, that's actually how many days it's been since we started, like since we finished season 1. If we released on time, which we were like half a week late, so it didn't quite match up, but it was roughly about the same.
The rest of that sentence was, maybe it'll work this time.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
he got that part of it.
It's gotta work this time. It just has to.
That was basically us in that last week, just every day. It has to work this time.
Yeah, and I like how it worked perfectly fine, and then of course we got like this game-breaking bug at the last, literally the last day.
And then it's also not like a bug from our code that we can try to fix. No, it's Unity itself.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. Oh, you've got a lot of coins to collect in this area. But yeah, it's so fun. But yeah, that whole simulation machine thing, that was just such a fun way for me to like, I've never written stories before, and I basically, the way I approached it, I had to kind of tie up, like, you know, we had certain limitations. A lot of people are like, oh, why aren't there, you know, human guests in the park? Like, how does that make sense? And I kind of had to work within our limitations and tried to come up with a story that would explain why there's no guests in the park, and kind of, you know, get across the message that we wanted to share as developers, you know, this journey of developing something together, and kind of the kinks it has with it, and the downfalls, but also the positives, and just that whole journey. I hope that comes across well enough. But yeah, it was so fun to do that, and to come up with a story for Mr. DNA, and I always like the character Mr. DNA. I don't know how he's not used in more things, especially promotional things. Like, he's used in like 5 seconds of Jurassic World and like 2 minutes of Jurassic Park. So yeah, you saw some of the compies running across there. They're adorable.
I think I ran over one of them by accident. But oops.
That was something we were considering adding, is a feature where you could run over the compies and they would like squeal. But we decided to go against it because this is a happy simulation. We don't want people or dinosaurs to die.
We don't want to make like a murder the dino simulation.
So, but yeah, it was just really fun, and the Emporium was so fun to create as well. And I'm just glad we have a shop system. I always wanted a shop system, and now we have a way to unlock things and collect things. So.
I'm seeing a gate here. In the middle.
Yes, there's a race gate.
Arena. Now, I have only tried these in my testing world, my testing Unity project.
It's not perfect, and I had to do some adjustments, but it should work fine.
Yeah. I mean, I know there were quite a bit of things that we wanted to like change and tweak and whatever. So I'm interested to see how it ends up working out.
Yeah, these were really fun to model as well, because I had to model something that would resemble the design of the docking station for the gyrosphere, but like kind of still blend into the valley. And I just came up with these rings, and that like gate is actually made up out of cardboard. I tend to like, with Mr. DNA, the design approach I have is like, you know, he would try to make things by hand a lot of the time. Like the simulation machine's very kind of thrown together and rough, and it's got like a light bulb and like 2 batteries loosely wired together. So it's got like all these interesting components like that. So I tried to kind of spread that across every design that's related to him. So yeah.
That will, by the way, also be like a really funny little 3D print / robotics project. Just make the simulation machine. Like
oh god, I would buy that off you so quickly. That would be incredible. Like have the little rotators spinning around. Oh my god, I need it. I need to own a 3D printed simulation machine.
Also, since the
you make it do
simulation
that?
machine is something we made ourselves,
Yeah.
technically we could
Yeah, exactly.
make those, sell them, and use it to print season 3.
Who knows? But yeah, that's true, Bernard. We could just put a little sound chip in it, and then when you switch it on, the light turns on and it goes bum bum ba-dum bum. I love that we added that, because I just had that idea one night. It's like, I think I was watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I was like, what if we had something like that? Because it's very Spielberg, and we do have a light, and I wanted to kind of get that theme in. So then it was like, you know, at the intro of the game, when you start the machine, that theme kind of echoes through the whole project. I really like that we added that at the last minute.
I seem to recall that I did that melody in at that spot, didn't I?
Yeah,
No.
Actually,
I think so.
I want to
It's
say
hard
that
to
we
remember,
added it in there.
Because we had the original, like, just the base of it. Oh, River, don't get the
No.
gate! Oh!
I went just past it. So that's, it's kind of difficult to know which way you've got to go after each game.
Yeah.
Because with some of them you just keep going straight to the next one, some of them you have to make a bit of a turn.
So one thing is, later on, I think it's in the 4th unlock set, you do get a very special item for the gyrosphere, which makes those race gates much, much easier. So you'll find out what that is.
Turbo boost with just like a giant jet engine on the back of the
Basically,
gyrosphere.
what it's not quite that, but it's called the drive key. And it's just literally a key that makes the gyrosphere, when you hold shift, it basically doubles the speed when you have it equipped. So it's really nice, and it feels very satisfying.
Does it add racing stripes for speed?
Yes, absolutely. Red is the fastest color.
Exactly.
I love in the race gates, sometimes the dinosaurs will get in your way, like, get out of the way, Patasaurus.
We need a way to like honk.
Yeah, oh, see that, I was going to add actually a honk button. It was going to be spacebar. We'll have to patch that in.
We have a patching system now, so we can.
I wanted it to sound a little bit like, I remember in JPOG, you could do the honk button in the tour cars. I wanted it to be sort of like that. Because, I mean, like, would a gyrosphere have a honk button? Who knows?
It probably would. It might be disabled for guests, but it probably would have one. I think.
We're VIP guests. But yeah, this gyrosphere scene is huge. It was so fun to...
Yeah, it's just doing the race, and it just takes so much time to get around the valley, even in the race.
You said that this space-wise in this level is bigger than Main Street?
Yep, it's the largest area in the game. It's like the map itself, like just the terrain, is technically the same size as Main Street scene, but Main Street only makes up about like 40% of that. So this utilizes the whole area. So yeah, it's probably about twice the size of Main Street, roughly. I just love watching the dinosaurs just roam around, and I love catching the Triceratops just laying down and having a little rest in the valley.
Like, all these race games are making me tired.
Oh, you did it! Nearly.
You don't get a lot of time for this race, do you?
No. No. It's supposed to be a challenge.
It's supposed to be a race.
Good point.
Whoa. Whoa.
You'll know it when you're at the last gate. It's the big one.
Am I almost there? Or am I just like...
You're very, very, very close.
See a little structure in the background there.
Yes, that's the gyrosphere bunker from Fallen Kingdom that never got used.
I did it!
Oh, you're nearly there! Yeah! I love how you can still see all the gates after, and then they disappear.
Yeah, for a moment you still see them, and then they're gone again.
But yeah, how many coins do you have now? When can you unlock the Galley Valley?
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll be soon. Let's see. 88 coins. So I need
have to play
a couple more. Need to get to 250.
Might have to play a few rounds of the arcade game.
Yeah,
because that is very easy to get coins.
Do that.
Just don't die.
I'm going to pick up these coins. Don't die. It's a great last advice.
Good luck. But yeah, if you guys are about to play it, or if you haven't played it yet, or if you have played it, we would love to see videos. I mean, we watch. I always look up if anyone's done new Jurassic Explorer videos, and it still blows my mind how many people are still playing Season 1. It came out like over 6 months ago. It came out like at the end of November. So like, you guys are crazy, and it's so awesome to see you guys play it and enjoy it and discover new things. And hopefully Season 2 will keep you playing for a long time. That's my aim.
So yeah, I'm in the arcade again. Let's see if it goes better this time. Ooh, immediately I get the pit.
But this 2D art was so fun to do. I love it.
The little face that Mr. DNA makes, like he's smiling, but he's like, oh.
It was hard because it's like Mr. DNA's like this floating thing. How do you design that in pixel art? And I tried to give him a little bit of personality. Like at the end, he does like this funky dance and stuff. I love the monorail in the background.
Yeah, that's really cool how that one actually moves.
Yeah, the whole parallax effect that you programmed in is so good. How the background moves and the clouds and everything. So good, awesome.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that. Really turned out great.
See, look at this, you already got 19 coins. Just gotta get all those ambers.
The problem isn't so much getting the coins themselves.
It's not dying.
The problem is when you have the coins to reach the end.
You did it!
His little dance.
It's so cute. Yeah, and you can even see the 8-bit simulation machine at the end and start of every level. Love
So
that.
are these like his previous attempts at creating the park using the machine?
Maybe. maybe he started off as a 2D artist and then he got really good and did 3D.
The first version of the simulation machine only did 2D. Oh,
His death animation was so funny to do. He just kind of like evaporates and then
Yeah.
he's like, oh,
it looks really nice.
oh. Pops away.
This one is really difficult to get.
See, this is easy for me. I've played it so many times. Just trying to jump up there. The best thing is to jump into it and then immediately go the other direction. Yeah, I love how Mr. DNA holds the amber cane.
Yeah.
It's like the best thing.
It's also
Because,
a really great way to show like, hey, you've got a power up.
Yeah.
Because at first I was thinking like, what are we going to do? Are we going to make him larger or giving him
Is he
a
gonna have
different
wings?
different color outline or something?
Yeah. But even Zach, our other programmer, he said that it like he likes it because it kind of ties him to John Hammond a bit more as well.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he did come out of his from your blood. Like he's like the closest thing we have to John Hammond, I guess. You can do this, River. I want to see Bernard play.
You fall asleep because I keep dying in the same spot.
I'm really getting this one chunk a lot in this level though.
I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
say,
that's-
like, that's the third time.
You just passed by the broken down gyrosphere. That was really fun to draw. It was really interesting, like getting the perspective correct and making it look like a gyrosphere. All these compies running around.
Rolls are auto-generated. Auto.
Basically my brother programmed a editor, so we designed the levels first, and then it generates the numbers which we can use to tell it to, you know, generate that chunk, and then it picks that at random and generates them into the levels. So every time you play it should be different.
Why
Different enough
Did you
anyway.
this
It's
thing
like
so
this.
difficult?
What was that, Bernard?
It will duplicate sometimes like this.
Yeah, right now it's just set so it won't ever like generate it twice, like to the next chunk, but it can still do it after that. That's the problem. But we can change that quite easily. Hello, Tristan. Welcome to the stream.
Coins when you die.
Yes, you do lose the coins that you've gotten in, like in that life. Like you didn't lose the ones from the previous level, but you do have to finish the level to get the coins you have. So don't die, River.
Done.
I thought you were better at video games.
I mean, at 3D games, I'm a lot better than these 2D in this one.
See, I grew up playing 2D games more than 3D games, so maybe that's why I'm pretty okay at it.
I mean, I'm usually not this bad at them. But
It also does take a while to get used to the controls, because
yeah, exactly. I've also
it's a
had
different
couple
type of
times-
game. Like it's not Mario. Like
Yeah.
your first instinct is to jump on the compies, but that will kill you. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've had that one happen quite a few times where I just jump on a compy and then it's oops.
the reason we decided to not make them so then you just jump on the compy and kill it again is that we didn't really want to depict Mr. DNA killing a compy like that. Hello, Alex. Welcome to the stream. But But yeah, we just always had to be a bit like conscious about that type of stuff because like, I don't know, it just seems a bit brutal that Mr. DNA would simulate compies and then just jump on them happily to kill them. So we just decided to get an amber and then it turns it into coins and then you can destroy them that way.
You said that one with all those coins.
Yeah, that's the level that we have to fix, where if you fall down and they're coins, you just kind of collect it. See, because I think the way I designed it originally is I thought, oh, there's compies down here. If you fall down, you're gonna die. But then I didn't think, oh wait, you can turn them into coins and then you're stuck there. So I've got to adjust that a little bit.
Maybe you could change the bottom to where it's those spikes.
Yeah.
So that once you lose immunity, it immediately becomes spikes.
Instead, he just morphs them into a bag of coins. I guess that's a little bit less cruel than jumping on their heads, right?
I mean,
I guess it's kind of like what Claire does.
Yeah.
She turns dinosaurs into money.
Yeah, she monetizes them. It's all a message.
I think if you jump on it first instead of walking into it, maybe that will help you.
yeah, but I don't know. It seems to.
No, I
too
found
fast. Like,
yeah, I found just walking into it and then immediately going left is the best thing. Like if you jump on it, it goes a bit weird.
Yeah. It's a bit difficult. I think if you try it a couple more times and you really get the hang of it, it'll be easy.
Yeah. See, I know how to do it perfectly, like, because I'm used to playing on it. But we do have to adjust the physics just a little bit. Yeah, got to fix the jump box.
This level, by the way, is really long.
This one is 18 chunks, I think.
Oh,
so
right as I say it, I get to the end.
Yeah. Yeah, so the first one, Jurassic World, that's the first level. That one is 8 chunks. And then this one's 18, and then Jurassic Park, the last one, is 35. So
35.
35.
Yeah, I'm now in Jurassic Park. It looks really nice.
Yeah, this is I love the backdrop to this. You still think it's too hard? I don't know, I like it. I like the challenge because I feel like
yeah,
it also represents the era it comes from, right? Like, the thing is, this is a great way to collect coins, so we wanted it to be challenging because you don't just want to rack up, 1,000 coins in one go and then you can just unlock everything.
Well,
so.
I mean, in the last level I got over 200 coins.
Yeah.
So I should
I feel like that's good enough.
Unlock the last things now.
And you can, if you have some coins left over, you might even be able to. I'd like you to try the gacha system.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you've fully seen that as well.
Yeah.
Oh! I was like, oh, you died, but then.
But then I just decided.
But then
to
you
die.
actually died.
I fell down. I thought, okay, I'm gone. And then it turned out I still had the Ember Cane.
Howdy, Explorer.
I was just going like, wait, why am I not dead?
That was the best thing. We decided to make the music speed up a little bit and get a bit higher pitch when you have the Amber Cane. So it makes it a bit more intense, and then you can instantly know, oh, the music's back to its normal level. I better not die. Zul was cheering you on.
Unlock the first set.
Yes, there you go. Set 1.
Really nice.
So you have that new drone. You have the Gallimimus Valley, which is a brand new location. You have one of the first dinosaur holograms unlocked, which is the Gallimimus.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I was about to say, didn't we have one here? But this is Earth.
Yes. Yeah. So there's the first 2 that you unlock just by default is the Earth and the Mr. DNA hologram.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna unlock the drone as well, just to have a bit more range.
I love that drone.
To get more coins, yeah.
And where shall we go now? I'm gonna go to the Irex.
Yeah, go to the Irex. Actually, I know a secret that I put in with the Irex, so you can get a lot of coins. And it's good that you just bought that drone, because it will definitely help. Yeah, see, that's one thing. In Season 1, you obviously couldn't get into the Indominus Rex paddock without glitching. There was a glitch early on, which we patched out, where you could enter it. But you're not supposed to. So the way we kind of worked around it in Season 2 is you have the drone, so you can actually fly into the drone, into the paddock with your drone. That bird is just sitting on the location point.
Amazing.
Just pecking at it. That bird, by the way, amazing detail done by Zul in the comments right here. He also animated it, of course. It was really good, and it's exactly what I pictured, a little dove just scattered around the park.
Little dove.
Little dove. He's a bad boy, the
I
Irish.
immediately notice there's no more horror DNA.
Yeah. Yeah, no scary Mr. DNA, only a scary Indominus Rex.
I mean, what's more scary, Mr. DNA or the Irex?
Mr. DNA riding the Irex.
Ooh.
So the best way to view this is either the binoculars or the dyno viewer. But I'm glad we've got lots of ways to explore now. Like, you can use the drone, the dyno viewer, the binoculars, the gyrosphere. Like, there's just so many different ways to look at the park, look at what we've done, and of course you can take photos at any time. You can actually take 4K photos by hitting F12 instead of F11. So if you really want those high quality, beautiful photos, it's already implemented from the start of the game, so that's really fun. Mr. DNA scary, they say. So you can press Q to zoom in if you want while you're in the dyno viewer.
It's really, there's so much detail in this dyno.
Yeah. Oh, the sculpt,
also,
like the raw file itself is incredible. Like, he had to sculpt every single scale on that body, pretty much. Like, there's a few exceptions, but like most of it, especially with the face, was pretty much hand done, which is incredible. Like, I don't even I do stuff to high detail, and I don't even know how he did that. Like, it's absolutely amazing. Welcome back, Final Space.
And also the animations are really great.
They are. Yeah, Zul is seeing this for the first time all put together. He animated the Indominus Rex, and he's never seen it, put together in the game with all the sounds and everything, so it must be pretty fun. There's your drone flapping its wings. We don't have Pteranodons in the game, but I had to get it in there somewhere. Hello, Abram. Welcome.
So
yeah, there's a bunch of yeah. So you got that one. There's by the hand scanner. There's 10 coins. But if you go to kind of where the Irex is, and you just keep going beyond it in the bushes behind, you will eventually find 100 coins.
100 coins.
Yeah. You might have to, if you don't have enough distance, you might have to walk around.
I think I'm gonna walk over to that side.
Yeah. But I love just the foliage in this area, like how there's like tall grass and lower grass, and then there's all these trees, and it just feels so much more alive than Season 1.
It's also really an improvement over Season 1.
The download will take different time depending on your internet speed. For me, it'll probably take a long time because I have terrible internet, but but if you have good enough internet, then it shouldn't take too long. It's only 2 gigabytes, so yes, you can go into the enclosure with the drone. and of course you can view the Irex up close with the Dino Viewer. So yeah, the drone's the best way to explore any enclosure.
So I'm trying to see where the coins are.
It should be behind you. Like, I know the stream's delayed, but yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
It's if you just hug the wall, basically, you'll eventually find it.
Steering the drone can be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, it's really sensitive. I couldn't really balance that super well, but I'm used to it now, so it's hard to tell. That's the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize, is that, you know, if there's a problem, sometimes you can get used to that problem by just playing it every day, and that's sort of a bad thing. Like, you almost forget that you have to fix something because you're like so used to it. You're like, oh no, this is balanced fine. Do you think you'll add the raptors at any point? Well, I'll tell you straight up, there aren't any raptors directly in Season 2, but there's a lot of references to raptors everywhere, which you might see in later unlocks. And it's definitely something we want to do, and if we do a Season 3, I think that's definitely the first dinosaur on our list, so stay tuned. I mean, the focus of Jurassic World is absolutely raptors, it seems, especially with Blue, so it would be a bit odd not having a raptor in a Jurassic Explorer game in the future.
So is there actually 100 coins, or?
It is, yeah. Just keep going forward.
Found him.
There they are.
Yeah,
I see them on the stream. Yeah, they're well hidden. If I didn't tell you, I don't know if you would have found them.
I definitely would not have found them.
It's been really fun, like, hiding all this stuff, because, I mean, it's interesting, like, how people approach trying to find stuff. Like, sometimes they'll just look in the areas I never thought of, and I was like, oh, maybe I should have hid it there. And then there's other times where I'm like, oh, turn around, there's like a trophy there. Like, so fun.
So how many coins? 115.
Halfway there.
Halfway there. Let's go to the Jaro Valley.
Yes.
Because I think there are a couple more over there.
Yeah, Bernard, since we've kind of got the area coming up, what was it like doing the Gallimimus track for the Gallimimus Valley? Because that one, like, that kind of surprised me, like, with just how energetic and fun it sounds.
You know, it was another one of those ones where when I wrote the monorail music, part of the monorail montage was the Gyrosphere the Gallimimus Valley, where Gyrosphere is in there very briefly too, actually, but and so it kind of came from that one, and opportunities to take that moment, the track of the montage, and kind of just extrapolate on it and make it its own thing.
Right.
I think it was just that like that energy that was there. And I guess in a way it's kind of almost like when they're in the actual gyrosphere and he's like, come on, and he hits the, goes faster and stuff. So I guess it kind of has a similarity to that energy there, that climb, that constant climb. It was interesting because that was one of the last tracks I wrote, actually. Like, it was, things were timed and what time we had. I had wanted to do the credits last, but knowing that you needed to get the video edited to it, changed that around and I did the credits, and then I had, I think it was first the Gallimimus, and then the last track was it.
Right.
It was one of the items that you can purchase. It was one of the themes, rather, that you can purchase.
Oh god, I can't wait. We got to talk about themes soon, but yeah, go on.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should say it, but like, I don't know. It was just, that was really the important part about it, was keeping the energy. But then I remembered when I did the gyrosphere that you'd even talked about having a moment where you just kind of let you relax a little bit.
Yeah.
In the program, when I was copying and pasting things, I was like, well, what if I cut out this instrument, cut out that instrument, and just lighten it a little bit? And so it repeats, but by the body to it, it lightened the whole thing up. And I was like, oh, okay, so it can be that strong intro, have a lighter middle, and go back to where it started again. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when you sent like a test of that, and that was so fun because it just sounded so different. Like, it was the same track, but just the mood and energy was just completely like calm, but still like enough pulsing energy in the background that had like this sort of excitement to it. It just worked so well, and the final piece, like, it's one of my favorite tracks in the like unlockable segments of the game, because it was like the best bit of the monorail track, in my opinion. Expanded into a whole theme, so it was fantastic. I love it.
I loved the intro up until the gates opening and everything, and then you're right. Like the Gallimimus part was probably my favorite, because it was so just of like not excitement, but this burst of grandeur into this energy.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I just really like that parallel, that movement from one to the other.
Well, and the thing is, within the monorail track, it also comes directly after like this kind of slower, more emotional piano segment of the Jurassic Explorer melody. So it's just like, you know, you got this cool down, and then it goes to this huge amount of energy with like excitement and like whimsical. Like, it really felt like you were thinking back to like a memory, and then like, you know, you're running through the park as a child. Like, that's kind of what I pictured in my head. That's so fun.
That's an interesting question.
Which one? The gyrosphere has invisible fences in the movie. Well, see, that's the thing, because on the website they say that there's an Apatosaurus stuck in the fence, by the way. Bad Apatosaurus, don't do that.
I guess that's why they had invisible fencing.
You think they'll have that on the tour? Gotta take a picture of that river. Oh my god. Yeah, so in the movie, we actually see these fences. Like, there was that physical prop, right, of the fences. But on the websites and on all sorts of, you know, media that they did, they just mentioned that there's invisible fencing for the dinosaurs, so they don't need to build any fences. And I think that just comes down to things in Jurassic World seem to be a little bit inconsistent, because on one hand you have all these ideas coming out, you know, in early stages of production, but then later on there's like concepts that change, and the websites have to base it on early work, and then it doesn't quite translate into what's in the final movie, and that's why a lot of these inconsistencies pop up. But yes, in the movie, which is what we usually directly work from, it has fences. So yeah. that's basically my answer to that.
I mean, like, you could even kind of retcon it and say that the invisible fence system was kind of like dogs in a yard. How, like,
yeah,
fencing, and it keeps the animals out of the way. And you could have still had that and kept them away from the gyrosphere. And if the gyrosphere weren't being run by itself, you know, there's the screens, not the screens, I don't know, the displays that talk about the gyrosphere just seem to show a trap. Always when
yes, that's right.
So that's in my mind. I was kind of imagined it that way, where it had a specific track for the regular guests, the non-VIP guests, and then the VIP guests were able to control it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I imagined too. Like, because the way I pictured it is that around every dinosaur, like that chip that they have in them, that like tracking chip, if the gyrosphere goes close to it, it would just stop the vehicle, or back up, or something like that. So then you don't just like ram into a Apatosaurus, because obviously that would be terrible. And it's exactly what you said, that the VIP guests would have full control, or somewhat full control of the vehicle. I don't know if they would be able to leave the fence like they did in the movie. That's a bit insane, but hopefully the workers got fired for opening that fence if that was the case. But yeah.
What did Claire say? She even said, like, when then Dominus escaped, she's like, he's now 5 miles from the nearest fence.
Yeah.
It'll shock him when he gets too close or something. I don't remember the exact line, but sort of idea.
Yeah, it was 5 miles close to the perimeter fence. Yeah, it was basically that. So it's just, I don't know, there's a lot of little things in Jurassic World that were a bit inconsistent. Oh, River, you found that bug. Yeah. We know how to fix that now. Basically what's happening from the animation, it can't get out of the it can't transition out of that leaping animation, so it's just constantly playing that on loop while it's walking. It can never get out of rest.
It looks like an injured animal that you would put down. Like, it just looks sad. I'm sorry to say that. Like, I saw that, I was like, oh no.
But I'm pretty sure we can fix that now. I know how to fix that, because one thing with Unity, animations and transitions is really difficult and really complex, but we've kind of figured out a new system that seems to be working perfectly. So we didn't get time to apply it to all the other dinosaurs, because that would have, would have to delay it another 2 weeks, but we should be able to patch it in now. So yeah. That is so cool.
Let's see how many coins I now have.
I feel like you're still very far away from
25 coins.
225?
225.
That's not bad.
So only like less than 100 remaining.
I feel like you should play the arcade, unlock the Galley Valley, and then after we talk a bit about that, I think I might have to go a bit, because I haven't really eaten today. I should probably eat a little bit. And I've got some things to do.
You have to fix Jurassic Explorer. You can't.
Yeah, I have to. No sleep for you. Work on Jurassic Explorer.
How dare you?
Oh man. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about was the themes. The themes were really fun to do, because basically what a theme is, it's like a different time of day, but you also get like different decorations sort of associated with that on your main street on some of them. And of course with every theme we have its own lighting, its own music, and it was really fun to kind of think of different ways that Jurassic World would be seen in these different themes. So like one of the examples is night. You have the night theme, so like, what emotions and sounds would come across during night in Jurassic World, like a non-chaotic Jurassic World, a functioning one that was peaceful and happy. That was really interesting to kind of come up with not only the visuals for that, but Bernard, you worked on the music for the night theme. That was, I mean, that piece is just so relaxing and beautiful. And it reminded me a lot of my favorite tracks from Jurassic Park Operation Genesis as well.
I mean, there are a lot of little things that kind of influence the sounds and the instrumentations and everything. Like, Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, Trespasser, what we're seeing now with the 8-bit, the old SNES games. So like that was it was kind of nice to be able to explore those sounds and those themes. But that fun because you're right. It was ways that you would see Jurassic World didn't see because the film didn't explore it in that time frame.
Yeah.
Holidays. We didn't see it during the rain. We didn't, which it's a tropical island. It's gonna rain. Stuff like that.
Yeah, and Zul says his favorite is the storm theme. And not just the visual theme, but especially the music, because that's also one of my favorites, and I have a lot of favorites, by the way, because I just love the score. But that track is just so epic, and it has just so much power behind it. The instruments that you use for the horns and the drums is kind of Lost World inspired, and I love it. It really does feel like a chaotic, and I remember it took quite a while for us to really find the balance we wanted.
Well, because
but we got it. Yeah.
Experience, what I've studied, what I've liked to do has mostly been film.
Right.
When it came time to write something that was more video game, in film and video game is serving the story, whereas video game is creating the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And you kind of have to allow it to loop, or you have to allow it to expand. Like Michael Giacchino, he's really good sound for video games because he can create this complex piece that is just like I don't know how to describe it, explorations on a style or a theme. Sometimes when he gets into film, I feel like it's because he's stifled. He doesn't know quite how to hit some of the moments as you would in the language of film. And so I'm kind of I don't want to say the opposite, but when it came time for the storm theme, you told me, hey, I wanted to, look at the galleys running.
Oh, that's so cool.
Sorry. I'm sorry, that just amused me.
They do fucking hurts.
They're doing Ring Around the Rosie, just singing this. The first couple tries, I think the one we settled on was the third version.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
But the first three, because you said you wanted to have a slow build up, you wanted it to maybe possibly sync with the lightning. That was one of the discussions we had.
Mm-hmm.
We tried a couple different things, and the first two versions, one of them, the intro was 1.5 minutes just by itself.
Right.
The second one was exploring what the next part would have been, but it didn't quite work. It worked, but it wouldn't have worked for what we were doing.
Yeah.
The final version of the storm theme, I think that came out, I don't know, that was done in a week or something. It just, once it started writing, it just wrote itself.
You pretty much, most tracks that happen in Jurassic Explorer, just kind of, once you find that thing, it just keeps evolving from there and getting better. But yeah, I do remember that it did take just a little bit longer. Usually we can just kind of pinpoint it, we got the idea, and then it kind of evolves from there. But that one it took us some proper experimenting, because just like you say, for a video game, you want it to tell a message, but you still have to have it almost be dynamic, almost continuously evoke that emotion while still having change. So it was
really,
I imagine it was a very challenging thing to do, but we definitely got it in the end. And Zul says, I literally cannot control myself when I watch the storm gameplay with the visuals and music.
Yes, I mean, I live in Florida, so it rains here often. There's actually a tropical storm literally kind of hitting us right now.
Wow.
And
Stay safe.
oh, it's fine. It's south of me, but didn't even think about it. I was at work today, and someone was like, "Oh, is that why it's raining?" Just 'cause it rains every day, so it's oh, that's why it's raining like this. But the part where it rained really bad, and that dun 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 started going through my head,
right.
And I'm like, oh, no, I gotta be at work. Don't get too emotional over it.
Oh, I totally think that, like, all the time whenever there's a, you know, like, even if there's a sunset, because I've worked on the sunset visuals so much, all I can hear in my head is just this two sunset melodies, like the dawn one and then like the more like energetic one. It's always Jurassic Explorer music in my head, pretty much from now on.
Well, it's, I mean,
River, just real quick, River, if you go into the Dino Viewer, read the description for the Gallum Island.
Dino Viewer.
Thank you so much, Azareth. As I can't say your name. I don't know. But thank you so much.
Pronunciation.
That's a huge
Gallimimus.
Straight from Jurassic Park.
Under diet, it says Metasauruses? Question mark. I'm just kidding.
Don't worry, you can pronounce it however you like. Thank you. But yeah, that's a huge compliment to say it looks as good as Jurassic World Evolution. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We all work very hard on the visuals, but not just the visuals, just everything. Like, obviously the programming and the just... We wanted it to evoke a feeling of an adventure. And I think, especially with Season 2, we've definitely captured that really well. Because now there is a sort of progression system, and you do feel like you're going on this big journey. And I think that's why, especially for me, as a developer, when we were, you know, creating those little final bits for the credit scene, it's a very emotional time, because you're like, you have been on this journey, this adventure, and then now it's in a little way going to end soon, but it's also a start to a new beginning. So who knows what's
the race.
Hey.
I don't know.
Oh no, it's not a bug. You have to it's kind of a bug. I have to set the gyrosphere back a bit more. You have to go through the first gate, like the actual gate itself, as the first one. Yeah, Azareth, I'm curious, do you have an estimated time when your video will be up? Because I would love to watch your video. I'm very excited. I remember, basically, I don't know, I think I showed you guys, she did a video on Season 1. It was maybe like a month ago, because she saw it on YouTube and didn't even really watch the YouTube video. She just like saw it as like, I need to play this, and did a let's play on it, and she loved it so much, and it was so fun like watching people's reactions. It's always fun seeing how people react and how they react to the music and the visuals and everything. And then I told her about Season 2, and here we are, and now she's gonna play it, so I'm really excited to see what she thinks. Is there going to be Season 3? I mean, we're always you know, looking what's next. I would love to do a Season 3. I don't see myself not returning for Season 3. Like, it's going to happen. It's just about when, pretty much, and how. You know, what do we want to achieve? I don't really necessarily just want to do the same thing again. I want to continue to push ourselves and do something different each time. But yeah, it depends how it goes, and I do feel like we're definitely at a point, you know, as a development team, that we can expand out to new things outside of Jurassic as well. So we'll definitely see how that goes. But we're always thinking about Season 3, and when so many lists, and you know, if we do a Season 3, you guys will be the first to know, and yeah. We'll tell you how it goes, and if we do something else, we'll tell you about that, because hopefully you can see that we're a good team, we're good developers, and we're definitely trying to... I feel like Dimensional Digital stuff definitely has its own feeling now, for sure. We've definitely found our bread and butter, I guess. So much potential. Thank you. If there's a Season 3, we'll be ready for it, definitely. But yeah, we've definitely got a lot of ideas. In fact, I just finished recording the first episode. I'll go and do the second one right now. So goodbye for now. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see it, and I'm sure you guys will also watch it, Bernard and River, because I mean, it's always fun.
I mean,
I don't know if everyone knows this, but like Michael, so I've said it. You keep very close tabs on any sort of discussions or videos when it comes to JE.
Absolutely.
You share it with us. You post it very quickly. It's so fascinating because like that's one of the reasons why we did multi-language this time was because
that's true actually.
We found out that like, as big as it was for an English-speaking audience, I think the next was Brazil, right?
Our next biggest one was Spanish, followed by Korean, which was really interesting. I wouldn't have expected it at all. But those were the two biggest non-English speaking languages in our fan base. And I was like, you know, we can't just release season 2 for an English audience if we have the ability to try to translate it. So yeah, we definitely tried that out. And you can buy a theme, nice. Yeah, I'm glad we have localization, and you really, honestly, never see that in fan games like this. I mean, a lot of this stuff you don't see, but especially localization. It's a huge undertaking, and especially, you know, for a smaller audience, you don't really see that much effort put into something that only a few thousand people might use. So
I mean, but the fact is that you pay attention to that stuff, and to be able to see that and be like, hey, this is something, this is an audience, this is a niche, people want this is something we should try to provide if we can. Yeah, and I mean, like, the nice thing is that through Game Jolt, it breaks down where and how many, and you know, like, see how big of an audience that area is.
Yeah, you can see all the analytics. Like, you can even see where they like came from when they downloaded the game, which is really interesting. By the way, I'm so sorry, River, you can't go up the stairs. I had to get rid of it, but I'm gonna try to fix it. Yeah, I just didn't have enough time.
Because there isn't like a fence anymore or whatever.
Yeah. I will update. I will put out an update where you can go up the stairs. The reason I couldn't do it at launch is because there was like a few things on the roof part that I had to fix, and I just didn't have the time. But
yeah, so I'm guessing that's also why the drone doesn't work.
Yeah,
currently.
but once we get that roof sorted, then we can definitely do it.
So just to come back on YouTubers playing this game, not only
I'm so excited.
Just amazing to see everybody play it and react to it, and to see, you know, but also that's sort of how I found out about this game and got to the team. So that's really interesting to me. Just to, you know, oh, I crashed.
Oh, did you?
I did.
I wonder why you crashed. That's weird. I have to look into that. You should send that log to the developer.
But I am the developer. I'll email it to myself.
I wonder what that is. Huh. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah. Weird.
But yeah, what's the kid's name? Yeah, so King Big Dogs, my brother, one of our developers and programmers, he said that if we do a season 3, he's programming multiplayer. So that's an idea. Add to the list. But yeah, the multi, get the crash log to me, please. Oh, okay. River, could you send the crash log over Discord?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Creatious Cruise, that would be a fun area to do. We actually kind of had that in our list of possibilities. There's lots of areas. I mean, Jurassic World, I mean, especially stuff we haven't seen. There's so much things that we could do. But I'm also really excited if we do a season 3, just the stuff that's not in Jurassic World, the stuff that we create ourselves, because the best thing about the shop for me as an artist was having the freedom to design our own items, our own you know, add-ons and decorations. That was so fun. That was like my favorite bit of season 2. So
I've sent the error log over in Discord.
thank you.
So
I feel like it
currently
crashed
using
because you
night.
equipped the night theme.
Yeah.
But then,
I mean-
but then it's fine when you're in Main Street. So I don't know.
That
was really
not
weird.
Sure. Yeah, it could be because of the theme. Could also
Maybe
just
you
be...
need a better computer, Ripper.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's just my computer is not good enough.
You should play on Bernard's computer. It'll be much better for sure.
I should get one of the new RTX 2080s to play this game.
I was gonna say, if you want to play it on my computer, you may as well just get an abacus.
You gotta get a Commodore 64 and play it. We gotta port this to Roblox, right?
Yeah. So Michael, if we do a season 3, can we please switch engine to Roblox?
To Roblox. Oh god. Absolutely. Adding that to the list. Oh god, there's so many lists. But it's okay. But what you were saying before, Bernard, I kind of got off topic a bit, but it is true. Like, these videos that people make are so helpful for us as developers, because we not only just on paper we get to see, you know, what did you like, what you didn't like, what we could improve on and stuff, but you literally get to see what causes a reaction, what reaction doesn't work. And that's why I think it's so vital, you know, that we have like this community to like watch people play and stuff like that. It's fun to, I mean, we spend 6 months of our lives working really hard to make this experience for everyone. We of course want to see how you guys react, and it's really magical to see that. So I love it. That's why I keep up to date on all that stuff, and I always share it with the other developers on the team, because I think it's just the best thing. Like I was telling you, Bernard, last night I joined the live stream with Jack, and he was just listening to season 2's album on your SoundCloud, and he was humming the melodies. Like, he learnt it so quickly, and that just made me smile so much. It was amazing.
I've been meaning to watch that. I forgot about that. You sent that, I think I was on my way to work or something.
Right. I
I'm
think
gonna watch that.
It automatically archives, but it takes a while, so it should be up by today, I'm pretty sure. You should be. I'll send you the specific timestamp. But it was so fun. Like, I always get a reaction when like someone can just automatically hum like da 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 da. Like, that's magic to me.
It's something, I'll be honest, I'm still getting used to. Like, I'll be honest to everyone listening, I don't take compliments very well. So if you've given me a compliment and I have been quiet, it's not because I don't appreciate it, it's because I don't know what to say.
Right.
But, like, and honestly, like, the biggest compliment is, it's weird for me to say this because, like, I have to wrap my mind around it. People actually remembering the melody enough to hum it, to sing it, to have it come to mind.
Yeah.
And Michael, I know you're like one of my biggest fans because you're always stuff. But like, sometimes it comes to my mind too. Like I said, I'll be at work and it'll pop up and like, no, that's too self-indulgent. Stop that. But like, I in all honesty, like, I've been listening to my music on the way to work, just like, how does this work? Is this good? Is this right? You know, still being critical of it, but like the because that's, I mean, how conceptually, taking a step back, you guys are replicating what exists and what was seen, and then did choose with the music to not. You know, we did say, hey, John Williams, we don't want to copy Michael Giacchino. We want to try something different. Yeah, for copyright reasons, but also to identify ourselves. And so it's like, when Dave was doing Jurassic Park 3, he's like, how do I pick up the baton from John Williams and you can psych yourself out. And Giacchino, even for Jurassic World, doing the same thing, kind of psyching himself out, where the director had to be like, no, you don't need to keep using Williams music, you can actually write your own. I read an interview where his original version of the T-Rex coming out, when they open up Paddock 9,
right.
Longer, gecko.
Oh my god, there's a floating gecko.
It's a weird thing.
I know why that's there, because there was a gecko hidden on a tree in season 1, but I replaced all the trees with the new ones, so I forgot there was a gecko there.
It's there in remembrance of that tree.
I almost don't want to patch that out.
It's just like a very special pickup that gives you 2,000 coins.
It's the genetically modified gecko.
It's a flying gecko.
The flying gecko.
GMG, genetically modified gecko.
But yeah, no, what was originally going to be the Paddock 9 opening music?
It was a much longer statement of the Jurassic Park theme. And
okay.
Really interesting, but he was told, no, write your own thing. And so, like, all he uses the dun 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 dun,
right,
and that's it.
Yeah.
Originally, it was a longer statement, and so, like, that's one of those things where it's like you have to push yourself to. Starting to hear that people like that, and I know you and I have talked a little bit about it. The monorail. What's the Indom? What's the other one?
There's the Indominus Rex paddock and the Gyrosphere Valley location.
That makes sense. Okay, I was like, can you tell me play this?
There's a secret location.
It's like, what is it?
God, they look so cool at night. Oh, my brother likes your accent, River.
That's a Dutch accent.
I'm Australian, so we all come from different parts of the world, which is really cool.
I really like this fire, by the way. Looks
yeah,
really nice.
I love the night scene. It just looks so nice.
Like back when we were over at the aquatic park, and I was flying the drone, and I looked over in this direction, I actually thought something in the park was on fire for a moment. And I was like, wait, well, what did we add that is on fire? Is this part of the theme, or...?
You just find Mr. DNA with like a torch and he's just lighting the park on fire.
Which,
my brother says his accent is sexy. It's not.
I think we may add more arcade games in a season 3. I don't know.
We don't even have to do it in season 3.
But,
I see what you mean.
But
I was thinking levels. We can do levels and patches,
so,
but
yeah,
like
so
new games.
I just wanted to share like some of the ideas we had for arcade games that we possibly wanted to do. One of them was a horror game with Mr. DNA
right.
in the park. And it was sort of like a Slender Man, or maybe more like Five Nights at Freddy's kind of game.
Yeah.
But with Mr. DNA. I still think
I love
it would
that.
be amazing to do.
I love that we've kind of embraced that, right? Like, because from season 1 there was like obviously this kind of almost meme in a way that like Mr. DNA was this terrifying thing. But I still don't know. Like in my head I go back and forth between Mr. DNA is just, innocent and stuff like that, but then I'm like, there's parts of Mr. DNA that's a bit questionable. So I always yeah, but like it's misunderstood. It just reminds me of Animal Crossing. There's a game on like Nintendo systems called Animal Crossing. There's this raccoon in the game that like sells you, like you move into the town and he sells you this house, but you're basically in debt to him the whole game, constantly repaying him back and working for him. And the developers say, oh, he's misunderstood, like he's giving you an opportunity to pay your debt off and like do work and all this stuff, but everybody else, like all the community fans, they're all like, no, he's evil and money hungry and he's just trying to use you as like a slave and stuff like that. And it's interesting how there's that like difference in mindset, and I feel like we got a very similar thing with Mr. DNA.
By the way, on the earlier bug where I only had 39 trophies instead of all 40 from Season 1, and the
Right.
one here in the center of Main Street I just picked up. So I think it's that
But
one
if you
that-
leave Main Street, I think it will reset. I think that's the current bug. I think Main
Okay.
Street trophies for some reason don't save.
That's weird. This is the only one though that I've seen in Main Street.
There's a lot. There's like 14 in Main Street, I believe.
No, yeah, I know. But since I've already picked up all the others in Season
Oh,
1,
right.
like...
Go.
they haven't
Okay, well
returned.
here's a test. Go to Jurassic Traders. It's just the corner building on Main Street.
Oops. I'm
It's-
just gonna reload the scene and see if
Yeah.
anything happens.
I know,
May I be of help?
that trophy in the middle of the innovation center that you collected before, that one won't show up until like a few minutes. That's like one of the only trophies in the game that doesn't pop up. So yeah, we're bug testing live.
Live bug fixing.
Is there any way to ascend/descend with the drone? Yes, you press Q and E, I think it is. Because WASD moves forward, back,
Yeah,
left,
yeah.
right.
WASD
Q and E is height. Yeah.
Just forward, backward, left, right, and a Q and E. Or if you're playing with the arrow keys, it's the shift and one key that are next to it, I think.
Right. Yeah, I should. I think I was going to put that in the instructions in the item menu.
Yeah, now the instructions only say like.
It's just for
press
deploying.
X to
Yeah.
deploy.
Yeah. No problem. Glad we could help.
So I'm not seeing
Yeah.
the trophy immediately,
Yeah.
but
It's just interesting because the trophy that's supposed to be right by the trader's shop, that's like gone. Like in
Yeah.
like that's collected. So
yeah, also the one at the IMAX theater. That was one of the first
Yeah.
ones. I went to check if it's still there or not.
I feel like it's just the save is a bit bugged or something.
Yeah, might be.
It's weird.
Or
We'll
might
have to
be
look
something
into
with this trophy.
See, I'm kind of glad we have a failsafe in a way, because if for some reason the trophies on Main Street are bugged, you still can collect the trophies by winning them in the gacha,
Yeah,
because that would actually be permanent no matter what. So that's a good thing.
actually, how many? I'm gonna try.
Yeah, try
I'm just gonna
gacha.
quickly
It's so fun.
play one round of the arcade to get some coins. Then I can
Yeah.
try the gacha.
I love gacha. It's so fun. Oh, and that's the thing that I added like literally I think it was yesterday. Bernard, that 8-bit melody theme I made a version of it that was like these it's kind of like what's the wooden xylophone instrument? It's like a xylophone but it's like wood pieces. I forgot what that instrument's called. But it's like that. And basically I added this really interesting reverb effect to it, and I added it to a very special item. It's a ride. I think you know what it is. It has to do with eggs. And it spins. I added it to that.
About that.
Yeah.
I
It's
forgot
very
about
cool. It's a very cool add-on to win, so
what exactly
luck
what you're
trying to win
talking
it.
about.
yeah. It came out so perfect. I'm like, oh my god, this feels so special now. I'm very happy with how it came out.
Do you
Yeah, it's
press
funny.
that?
Yeah, you just walk up to it like riding the baby. It's just pretty much exactly like that. Xylophone.
The zone? Or-
Yeah, I thought there was one like a mamba. No, mamba phone. I think it started with There's so many instruments. Confuses me. Metalophone. Beautiful.
Telephone.
The name might have been like a telephone, but if it's wood, it's different.
Yeah.
The drone, when you have it.
So will this video be about exploring every section of the game? No, we're just showing basically the first few areas of the game and just discussing
showing some parts in the beginning and talking about, you know, some behind the scenes stuff, how we made it,
Yeah.
why we made it.
We'll discuss some of the later unlock areas probably at a later date. We originally planned to do like sort of developer interview videos.
Michael.
What's up?
I was saying yes.
Yes, and like I mean, this one is pretty much what we wanted to do, but we wanted it more like a video, less so much as a live stream. But this works very well actually because we get to answer questions from you guys. But
might do another one.
Yeah, we'll definitely do some more stuff in the future and talk about some of the later locations because I have a lot to say about some of the later unlocks.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because this is really the first time we've had to publicly talk about this stuff as well. Like, I mean, we all talk about it to each other within the development group, and there's only a little bit that we can show, you know, without spoiling stuff early on until the game's out. But this is the first time we just get to discuss all the background stuff that's happened, so it's really good.
But there's still things that we haven't mentioned yet.
Oh, there's so many things. And there's so many ideas we haven't done yet too, so yeah, I think it's gacha time, right?
Howdy, Explorer. May I be of help?
The gacha was so fun to do. Like the animation and the sound effects, like the pop. That's so satisfying.
Let's see.
255. Good luck.
Overall.
I bet you'll get a trophy or like 600 coins.
250 coins. Hey, that is profit.
Hey! See, you win a bit back, and then if you're unlucky, you can get like 50 coins.
Am I gonna risk doing it again?
You should do it again.
Let's see what happens. Is this how my gambling addiction starts?
Yeah, but it's gambling with no... You got 50 coins? Oh no.
Well, can't do the third time.
There you go.
Might be able to buy some more cool items in the shop though. Is there anything that I really should buy?
Can you buy... Oh, you can buy the flashlight. That's pretty cool.
Let's get the flashlight.
Thank you.
And maybe okay, you already got the hologram.
Yeah.
You could buy the Gallimimus hologram for 50, because that's the first dinosaur hologram.
That's a nice one indeed.
Thank you.
There we go.
Sorry, yeah.
And I think I might also... Let's see, Jurassic.
Thank you.
I'm also gonna get the balloon.
Getting a balloon.
Thank you.
There we go. And yeah, sure. Easy. I'm trying to buy all of these so that I can unlock the second set.
Yes. I love the unlock system. But yeah, Bernard, you were saying the Pterosauria thing, that was interesting to do, right?
Like, that was something that I had thought about in season 1, but did not have the time to do. Did not know what to do with that yet. But it was about it. But Main Street, since we were doing so many things outside of Main Street this season, one of the big questions we asked... Did you see that, Michael?
I didn't see where it was, but apparently I did.
When you, it says what you unlocked.
Let me check. I'm just going back on the stream.
Proium sounds like a mineral or something. A little while you look at that, Michael. But the idea
Yes.
was that the was such a big thing for season 1. Going into season 2, we were adding in so many things outside of Main Street. I was like, well, how do you make Main Street? How do we reinvent it? How do we keep it alive? Was to have these little packages that you can have on. And you're done because I'm hearing myself and myself and myself. But but the idea was to write music for certain stores in Main Street to make it sound like they were alive. And with Terrasoria, since again my focus is tend to be more film, it's like, well, why don't I write like a something that you'd hear, the introduction to a film for Terrasoria, the music, the fanfare to it and everything. As I started writing it, about halfway through it, I was like, I should write the opening monologue for the film. So it sounded like the movie's already started, because the Jurassic World website actually said it was so loud that T-Rex would get upset. So I was like, it's got to be loud. So I wrote a script as I wrote the music, and then just kind of put it all together and recorded myself saying it. And you go near the door, you can hear the music and myself, my monologue.
Yeah, it is so cool. Like I remember getting that, and it surprised me, because not only I think that was pretty much one of the first package add-ons that we had for the park for Main Street, but it was also just like I didn't request that. Like I didn't tell it just kind of came out of nowhere, and that was just like the best thing, because I don't know, there's just those little moments where like in the team, like you just come up with this idea on your own, and then you show it to the rest of the team, and it just blows them away. And that was just so fun to listen to. And I was like, oh my god, this sounds like a real movie. I want to watch this with Petrie.
That's what everyone kept saying. That's what everyone kept saying. And you know, it occurs to me, I sent that to you, and we weren't really sure how we were going to use it.
Yeah, exactly.
I did that, and then I
think that's where we came up with it then.
That's where we came up with the store. I mean, you already had the idea for the store, but where it was like, wait, Emporium, and this is something we could sell. Same thing with Margaritaville. Those little things kind of added onto each other, and really sold the idea that yes, we should do the Emporium. Yes, we should create little sets. And then the idea of, well, we have a thing to sell, these themes and these items and stuff. What else can we do? Blew up into so many different things.
So you're saying that you invented the Emporium?
No, that's not what I'm saying. That as a team, we motivate and inspire each other.
No, but we really do. Like,
We do.
Honestly, I'm so lucky that we have such a good team, and exactly what you said. We all like inspire each other, and like there's so many ideas that wouldn't have existed without just us talking to each other. Like the trophy system from season 1 was all like I had the rough idea, but it would have been never possible if it was just me. Zach came up with that on his own and got the idea of working as a real product. The shop system, obviously, River just did a fantastic job at bringing that to life, and I would have never expected an incredibly complex system like that to be in Jurassic Explorer, let alone in Season 2. So it's just really cool to bounce all these ideas off each other and just work so well together as a creative team.
And there are also some times where we just end up having the same IDs, sort of. So
oh my god, all the time.
In season 1, I wasn't yet part of the development. I mean, I did a little bit of programming towards the end of season 1, I think.
Right, you did this. You did the screenshots at the end of season.
Yeah, but I wasn't really part of the developer team during most of season 1, so I didn't know much yet about the game when I started playing it. And one of the first things I did was at the IMAX Terrasoria experience. I just walked right up to the door and started listening if you could hear the show, because I thought that would be so amazing. And then here comes season 2, and one of the first things that has been made for season 2 has been just at the Terrasoria experience sound at the doors. It was just so so funny to just see that coming from multiple people in the team.
Well, exactly. I mean, Bernard, I can't even like count how many times we've just had the same idea. We would just like it would just be like, wait, but what if you change it to this and then like layer it like that? And you're just like, yep, I was already doing that. Like
that happened all the time. You'd be like, hey, can you do this? I'd be like, yeah, I already did. It's pretty funny.
You're late to the game. But it's even like the arcade. I think, River, you even thought like, what if there was actually arcade games to play in the arcade, and then that just kind of built off that. Like, I think it just shows like, what's that word? Synergy.
I mean, with the arcade, it also sort of came from a different project that we both worked on. And so over there we had an arcade. Can't say much about it yet, but over there we made an arcade machine as a model for in that game. And then we sort of went, wait, we could also have these in the Jurassic Explorer arcade. And then that sort of turned into, well, what kind of arcade games could we put into Jurassic Explorer? And then we had this whole list of just a lot of games.
You keep dying. You'll get better at it, I swear.
Eventually, yeah. Also, it's kind of weird when you are hitting the when you're in a climbing climbing animation, you can jump. So also if you're at like the top of it, standing on top of it, or standing just like on the ground but next to it, you can't actually jump.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Difficult.
Because I think it's based off like constant force that goes up. That's also like, it's kind of a weird physics system. So yeah.
Which, by the way,
I mean,
so many things in season 2 that work off of physics.
Oh, I know, right? The gyrosphere. Like, I don't even feel like the gyrosphere in Evolution works fully off physics. I could be wrong.
I think they just have some animations and like a more simple character controller.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I guess that's something I also just want to quickly mention just as an artist. It was really interesting going into season 2 and then seeing Evolution come out and like just seeing how season 2 compared on a visual level to Evolution, because obviously that's like a huge company with like 30 plus people of incredibly talented artists. They do that for a living, and for me, my challenge was to like get it as close to that type of quality while still having the style and everything that we want to do. So I'm really proud of how it came out and how it ended. Obviously there's lots of things we can still keep improving, but I just thought that was so interesting to see how it compared, because I mean, even if like some scenes were even remotely close to Evolution, that's incredible in my book. Like, I would never have expected that. So I think that just shows how well we all work together to make all this mesh as one product.
So when you really think about it, like, although we had released season 1, for us to really decide to do season 1 was released end of November, so pretty much December. And then you sent me, it actually happened to open, it's not dated, but you sent a proposal, like you said, it had to have been of January?
It was late December or early January, yeah.
So, and that was a proposal for it, and started working mid-January.
Yeah.
So like all of this stuff that's not from season 1 made in 8 months.
Yeah, it's insane. Like even this whole arcade game again was pretty much put together in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like it's so fun, and I don't even know how we achieved it. Like it was a bit of a blur, to be honest. Like I haven't had much sleep.
That's why it's
But-
blur.
That's why it's a blur. I'm losing my memory cells, but no, it's been really fun. Like it's been stressful for sure, but it's also been really fun because we just learned so much and done so much in a short amount of time. And I think I've also, especially, I think that just also shows how we've all learned to manage our time better as well. I mean, season 1 took about a year, and that was only 4 locations. And I mean, we already had the groundwork to work with from season 1 to season 2, so that definitely helped as well. But I think, I mean, we more than doubled the locations, and we still had to build them from scratch. It's crazy. I'm still shocked how we did it. I'm playing season 2 right now. That's awesome. Thank you. But yeah, I'm really excited to see all the YouTube videos, of course, and I'm really excited to see 2 of our biggest YouTube players, I guess we could call them, Best in Slot and Gaming Bieber, because we're obviously all fans of them, or at least I am. And I actually gave them a little nod in the credits at the end, just for kind of contributing and introducing so many people to our project, because without that type of exposure, we wouldn't have that many fans, and maybe we wouldn't have been where we are today. So I'm very, very happy that that happened, and I look forward to them freaking out and probably getting really angry at this arcade game if they can't win it. I know someone's going to rage. 100%. I did. The amount of times I would like just miss a jump, or like I just ran out of time and then I hit a compy. Oh my god.
I think the person who will be raging on camera at this game will be me.
Probably. Gaming people will probably lose this match. Probably. Honestly, I'm really, like, I have no idea what to expect. I'm so excited. And it's funny because there was some people, specifically Clayton. I don't know if you guys know Clayton, but he's like a Jurassic YouTuber. He does like all these, not really theory videos, but like he just discusses the lore of Jurassic stuff.
Yeah.
Zul knows him. There's a lot of things that he likes, and because he was such a big fan of them, just in the Jurassic universe, I decided to kind of put a lot of those elements in parts of Season 2. So if he ever plays Season 2 on his channel, which I hope he does one day, I'm really excited to get his reaction to those parts. And I think it's so fun that we can kind of adjust it to the community's likes and dislikes and stuff like that.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
I have now unlocked the second set of unlocks.
Nice. So I think this one... Yeah, this one has the storm theme, the classic helicopter drone, which is modeled after the classic helicopter from Jurassic Park. And the Mosasaurus gate, the much debated, much argued, non-existent Mosasaurus gate. I even put it in the description. Mr. DNA says, don't quite remember this from the original park, but some say it exists.
Some say this gate wasn't present in the park early on. Who knows? This gate keeps our Mosasaurus within our Jurassic lagoon.
There we go. I need Colin to see that.
I mean, it was so weird when I started watching that movie, because like in the first scene, they have like this helicopter flying in to take out the... by the way, spoilers if you haven't seen Fallen Kingdom yet. But they have this helicopter fly in to lift out the piece of bone. and then they
Right.
have the submarine going in through the gate, and someone on land to open the gate for the submarine and close it behind them. So, first of all, this is supposed to not take place too long after the first movie, but it looks
Sure.
like it takes place years later. Just
Yeah,
because of
like,
how
you would think-
overgrown it is, and also because they're saying like, oh, the Mosasaurus should be dead by now. But
Yeah.
then it's not, so either it's really close after the park closed, but then that doesn't make sense because the Indominus is already completely gone.
Yeah, really.
It's just a
It's a
skeleton left.
skeleton.
Like, that looks like it's been there for years.
Yeah.
That's really weird. Plus, then, why aren't they just like dropping the submarine in, like, into the lagoon itself? Why is that one going through the
And-
gate?
And they've explained as well that the gate doesn't go to the ocean; it goes to the river. But that means that the submarine just
It's a flying
down a
Mosasaurus.
river.
Like,
Oh my gosh!
it makes no sense. Plus, then
The submarine
end,
winds its way to
the,
a river and then gets there.
the Mosasaurus, you like see this shot of like, oh no, it escapes, but then it's never brought up again in the movie. Nothing happens with it.
Yeah. I feel like that's foreshadowing for the next movie though, but
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could be, but still, it's kind of weird to then. Yeah, I don't know.
it's tricky because, like, on one hand, I get it. You know, plot devices exist for films.
Yeah.
Like, things just appear
But in this
because it
case-
needs to be shown in the
But
the
in
plot.
this case, it
The
doesn't
thing is-
change the plot.
The thing is, they could have done it. Like, they could have still done a gate type system thing. They just didn't need to put a gate like this in. They could have done a underwater, like, tunnel, right? That
Mhm.
goes to the ocean or goes to a river which leads to the ocean.
Yeah.
And that would be fine because we didn't see this gate. Like, we saw the entire park and we didn't see this. And it's a huge, huge structure. It's humongous. I don't know if you saw it, but if you see cars on it,
Yeah.
they're tiny. Like, it's a humongous structure, and it just doesn't make sense at all. So
You wouldn't have the reference to Jaws 3.
yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, but Jaws 3
That's-
isn't even that great of a Jaws movie.
Well, if
be
you think of
honest.
what Jaws 3 is about, to a Steven Spielberg film with themes by John Williams, where a monster is let loose in a theme park, where theme park employees use trained animals to kill this monster.
right.
What movie am I talking about? Oh, Jurassic World?
Thank
No,
you.
Jaws 3. So, like, a part of me thinks
Jurassic
that
Jaws 3. Oh my god.
yeah.
Jurassic Jaws. No, that's called the Meg. That one just released Jurassic Jaws.
That's right. That's right.
Which, by the way, is a great
But-
movie. Highly recommended to anyone.
I liked it. I can't enter in the petting zoo from the gate. Yes, one of the gates, Alex, the further gate,
Thank you.
is having a collision error. But the front one,
Thank
so the
you.
one closer to the entrance to the petting zoo, you can enter right now. But that's something that we put on the list to fix.
Yeah.
I didn't
And
want to
the coins in that petting zoo you can actually still get with your drone, by the way, if you just fly it into it. So. Yeah, there was lots of little things with that. I think the problem with, like, my main problem with that whole, like, gate thing is that I think they only put it in because they're like, oh, in this movie we're destroying Main Street and Jurassic World, so it doesn't even matter if it's inaccurate. That's what bothers me. I feel like that's, like, how they approach that thing. And it's like, just
we've all
because you're
seen now
destroying it doesn't mean you have to make it inaccurate.
By now, we've all seen the original opening, or the original Mosasaurus thing, where they actually capture the Mosasaurus and kill it on a whaler ship.
Yeah.
Like you said, the plot hole of that the Mosasaurus had no real function in the story. Well, it's because it's supposed to be dead.
Yeah. I don't know. It just really bugged me because, like, I don't get how a team of fans could point out, like, you know, accurately recreate Jurassic World and Main Street from scratch with no source, like, 3D models or references like that Universal had, but Universal has all that and they can still get it wrong. I don't understand how that happens.
I mean, the weirdest thing about that is that they even changed it in the first place, because they already have like the models from the CGI from
they
the
had
last
to know
movie.
it was wrong.
They didn't
Exactly.
like, if you're not, why are you changing the model from the last movie instead of just using that and saving time and money? But oh well.
It would have been more work to change it and get it wrong.
Exactly.
Like that's what.
You save up enough coins, Alex.
Yeah.
You hit escape, and then you can go to Mr. DNA's Emporium and purchase your drones from there.
And then once you have the drone equipped, just go into a scene and press X, and it'll launch the drone, and you can fly it around. If you ever get like confused on what button it is to like launch something or use an item or whatever, just go to the pause menu, and it's in your items little box thing. It just kind of has the descriptions and what it does and what buttons. River, I feel like you're getting better. Just a little
Slightly.
bit.
I'm also a bit more lucky with the chunks it's chosen.
Yeah, that's true.
Which, by the way,
got a
is
lot of
also
coins, for
like
sure.
a great way to just replay the game, try to get like
Yeah.
the best possible levels to get easy coins.
See, that's the thing. We made about 80 chunks in like a few days, so especially the level editor is so easy. If we just do updates now and then, we can add like, you know, 300 chunks each update, and then it just becomes more dynamic every time people play. No problem, Alex. Enjoy the game. Look at all those poor compies turned into pouches of money.
Stuck in a hole.
Yeah, Zul, like, because Zul has a really, like, low-end PC, so he can't actually run Jurassic Explorer. That's why I wanted to do a stream like this as well, because a lot of people who don't have a PC that's good enough to run JE but still wants to experience it can still do that, so no problem. And don't worry, Zul, I'll get some specific footage for you for some bonus stuff that we won't cover here.
Raptor.
Oh, nice. What was the way? Yeah, there's the raptor. They will jump so high, they're terrifying.
Yeah, just
Alex, what was the way you entered the petting zoo? Could you let me know? Yeah, I feel like that chunk like that zigzaggy one where there's the amber thing, I feel like that's the most common one. I don't know why. Like, it doesn't make sense because there's no values of how common something gets placed,
So
but
Michael,
I always encounter it.
I
Yeah.
see the pit again, but in the Jurassic Park
Yeah,
level.
see, that's the fixed one.
Here it
The
has
Jurassic
a
Park is the fixed one. Yeah. I just told you, it's all it is I didn't put that chunk generation into the other levels, I forgot. But that one's fixed. That one you can kill yourself, as horrible as that sounds.
Oh, so that's the way you get out is death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. With Mr. DNA, the only option is death.
Oh.
And also notice how
That-
half of those coins aren't moving up and down. They're just staying static. I don't know if you're still on it though, but yeah, I gotta
No,
fix
but
that
now-
too.
I'm a couple chunks further.
What?
I love the
I thought that was-
raptors jumping around, but they're just giant
Yeah, but they're
like,
just
bags of coins.
By the way, I'm getting so many amber gains that just
I know, right?
pretty much all of this level is just coin pouches instead of enemies.
And see, even with all of that, it's still taking forever to unlock stuff, so
Yeah.
I feel like within the 2 weeks I had to balance it and figure it out. I did a okay-ish job.
Yeah, but you
Good
also
enough.
don't want like everything.
I don't want
unlocked
it
within
to be
10
like,
minutes.
yeah,
Like
exactly. I don't want
I
it
think
to
this
take
is pretty
forever.
good. Though
Yeah.
I would enjoy. I fell in.
You fell?
I fell into the pit
Oh no.
with 250 coins.
Why did you have to go back for 1 coin? Oh no.
Um,
I regret everything. I can't believe you've done this.
But yeah,
Oh my god, the raptors!
the raptors just
They were
immediately.
flying! They're just like, oh.
I mean, I would enjoy like a couple more ways to get coins throughout the park itself, or more arcade games
Yeah.
or something. But other than that,
I mean, I was planning to do so much more, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's what patches are for, I
time
guess.
restraints. But we can now do
Yeah.
patches to add like simple new arcade games or other.
I would like to like create some more mini games for the gyrosphere. I feel
Yeah,
like
me
there's a
too.
lot of potential.
We could do a lot of, or like races for the drones as well.
Yeah. Actually, right now you can technically fly your
Yeah.
drone through
So
it.
you could,
It worked,
but
I
I would
tested.
like some like air races or something.
Yeah.
that could be cool. Also,
Oh my god, these raptors are vicious.
I would really like in a patch to just have like the turning of the drone a little more controllable.
Yeah.
Because that's a bit
Zul
difficult
says,
for now.
creation is an act of sheer will, and next time it will be flawless. That was from our first trailer too, for Jurassic Explorer. So fitting. God, I love the raptors. That was a pen that I can enter, I didn't realize. Oh, okay. That's fine.
Oh,
Don't die.
man. No, I managed to escape a flying raptor.
Flying raptor.
I mean, in a moment it will show up on the stream as well. Shoot.
Oh, it killed itself. It ran into
Yeah.
the spike.
It flew right into the spikes.
I feel like I might be remembering this wrong, but I feel like those raptors were actually made by mistake by us. Like we were messing with the compy AI, and then we turned the value up too high, and they just went wild. And we said, you know what? We can just make this a separate AI, and we'll give it a raptor skin, and we'll be done. So yeah, some of the best ideas come from mistakes. So that's how programming usually goes, honestly.
Yeah.
So you're
I'm
saying
sure you've
rappers are a mistake?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, we should just put some. Yeah, I've got a lot of ideas. See, I'm getting all these ideas now. I should stop, take a break. But yeah, it's going to be that small weird time again that we kind of went through, Bernard, where it's like it's done, but you keep expecting to work on it. You're like, what's left? Oh wait, it's done.
Yep.
It's the weirdest thing to explain. Like,
But that's also kind of like a fun effect of like the patches we've now added, that you can just like
Yeah.
add small things as like a small in between update without making like a full season 3.
yeah, exactly. No, that's what I plan to do. But it's just so weird. It's just weird, like honestly, that it's even out there now. Like people are actually playing it right now. Like yesterday we were still working on it, and now today everybody can see our work. It's a bit scary. So vulnerable. That little compy.
You can't get past him. Ah,
Did he kill you?
no, not yet, not yet.
Oh, don't die.
I managed to get past.
Ah,
Oh man.
Oh, you
that was
just
so
got
close.
I know, that was like a pixel off, and you would have died.
Also,
Oh,
since
man.
it's like rendering actually at like a really low resolution, it could be like way less than one of these pixels.
True.
That's also making it kind of like more difficult, but in a fun way.
Me. Oh man, that's fun. But yeah, I am curious the most. How long is it going to take? Like, who's going to be the first person to get to the last unlockable location?
I hope to be it, but
Are you gonna speedrun it? No, I think I know a few people who are past you by now. Oh, I don't know. Oh no, because you're on the unlock after the Gallimimus Valley, so you might be pretty far ahead. It's gonna be interesting to see how long it takes. And the thing
Once
is,
that's
like,
said,
it's gonna be so interesting because you could probably technically unlock it a lot faster if you risk Gacha as well. But that could also screw you over if you have bad luck, so...
Yeah. I mean, talking about bad luck,
Oh,
you'll see it in a moment
no.
or so.
Oh no. That sucks. And you know what happened there? It's kind of sort of a
it's
bug.
like the
thing pulls
the
you
thingy,
down because
yeah.
you can't jump while you're on it. Yeah.
Oh,
Because
man.
it thinks you're climbing it and going down. So
I'm just gonna go to the store, see how much coins I have. And if I can buy the rest of the items to unlock the next unlock.
but yeah, I think in about 10 minutes I might leave you
Howdy,
guys, just
explorer.
end
May
it
I
there
be of
because
help?
I'm losing my voice a little bit.
I might
I'm
do the
gonna try the
same.
gacha one more time.
Yeah, do the gacha.
Let's see, for 200 coins.
Maybe you'll get a gold bus.
100 coins.
Oh,
Hmm.
Oh,
I could try it one more time.
do it.
Alright, let's see. A trophy, number 80. Ooh, get the last one at
Oh,
first.
80. That's a
80?
good preview.
Okay, can I show it or is it too spoilery?
That's the end of the stream. If people stuck to this point, you may as well show it.
Alright.
he shows it and cuts the stream. I'm just kidding.
We interrupt this program. Mr. DNA cut the simulation, you turned it off.
Mm-hmm. He just slowly pops up and goes, bingo.
From your blood.
So
Oh,
here's a
kidding.
little sneak peek. at
Little
trophy number
spoiler.
80.
Look how cool that looks. I love it. Zul, you must be freaking out right now. But yeah, I think that was a really good discussion on how a little insight to the development. And yeah, season 2 is out now. You guys can obviously play it on our Game Jolt page. There's like a bunch of links everywhere. Just literally search Jurassic Explorer and you'll get it. It's 100% free. It is our fan project that we did just out of the passion for it, and I hope you guys love it as much as we love developing it. Look forward to whatever we do in the future. From here, it's out, so we can really talk about it, you know, for as much as we want. So we'll probably be doing some stuff in the coming weeks, most likely. I know I probably will. But yeah, I'm excited for you guys.
One of these streams.
Yeah, that'll be great. I'll definitely join you.
I think
And,
maybe even later today. Maybe.
And yeah, like, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for supporting us and playing Jurassic Explorer. I hope it's really fun for you guys, and I hope you enjoy it and keep exploring. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Do you guys have to say anything?
I mean, this was a lot of fun. It's really great to see everything coming together. Also, like hearing everyone's reactions, and also in the way we did this live stream where we could talk a little bit about what we did, why we did it, what we also thought about doing. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like this format. We'll have to do it in the future. What about you, Bernard?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Just that I appreciate that, you know, people even have as much interest in it as they do, and to watch how many downloads we've had and like
Oh, I know.
the feedback and everything. So it's just
like it still
gratitude.
takes me back a little bit that like so many people, you know, 34,000 people and counting,
yeah.
like are actually interested and support our artwork and our programming and our music. Like I'm forever grateful for that. So yeah, it's really, really awesome. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And thank you, River and Bernard, for taking time out of your day and joining us for this live stream as well.
Likewise.
Likewise.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and enjoy Jurassic Explorer Season 2 for yourself. Bye!
Bye.